she was sick, and I caught whatever she had.
Gross.
So it's my own fault. I refuse to stay away.
See, even Jenna said sucking too much dick.
No. Oh man.
Why did I mute myself? Man, thank you for the sub.
Why did I mute myself? Fuck. So-
Oh my god, I actually heard the Rick roll this time. What?
Nice.
Never gonna give you up.
So, hello everyone. Everyone's here minus Bird / Nosh. He will be here a little later. He's driving back to his house, so he'll be here when he gets here. But welcome back to Siege of Etheria. This is episode 15 with the title of Moral Conflict. So this is gonna be fun for. We have with us tonight our usual group of ragtag individuals. So we have, of course, with us Stealth Rage playing Finrod. Thanks, Phantom.
We have the DM being scared.
Yeah. We have already starting off strong.
Jenna, Josh is late. This sounds so out of character. I roll.
Yeah.
No, he's RPing it very well.
So we have Stealth Rage, our dear friend playing Finrod, the Elven Monk. We have Rexus playing the Dwarven Paladin, Kavron. We have, of course, Thirsty Pandy, our dear friend Mandy, playing the Elven Druid named Mandy. And then, of course, we have It's Time to Rage playing the Aarakocra Ranger, also named Rage. Yeah, make sure I put the points up. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, we have a Salty Viking playing the Goliath Barbarian, lovingly named Tovar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't know if you guys are looking at my stream right now, but I'm doing something.
You're doing something?
Yeah.
I heard something pop.
You got some mead?
Yeah. You see what I'm pouring it into?
No. I also have you at 160, so I can fucking stream. Hold on.
That's fine. Hold on.
Okay. All right. What do you got? Oh, is that the horn?
Yeah, it's
The
one of
horn?
the horns. I have the other one right here.
It is
Nice.
the horn.
I'm just drinking Wild Turkey 101 out of a Tampa Bay Lightning glass. Watch
Very
glass.
nice. Very nice.
I figured I'd get into character.
I'm elevating myself to be closer to my god with some amnesia haze.
Give me a minute.
Oh,
I
Okay.
think I left my water in the other room. Sag, I'll go grab that in a minute. So we've done the intros for our wonderful players. To bring everyone up to speed on what happened last time, is the party went to. Thanks, Phantom. I just said I don't have my water here. I have to go get it now. You're forcing me to go get it. Thanks. The party went to the town of Marmon, where they met a elf named Eris, who is in the jailhouse for being way too horny above any rational means, which brought forth a number of emotions out of both the players and the characters themselves. They were able to hear what she had to say about blowing open a conspiracy theory that had been brought to her attention that she believed is something that is terrible going on in the town of Marmon, as the party found that the town is relatively happy. The geriatric population has increased, and a lot of them seem excited to go to Heaven's Gate and kind of hang out there. Thank you, Jenna. I appreciate it. So they went to the jail. They went to the mayor's house. They talked to a number of individuals about just what's been going on. Thanks, Salty. They went and talked to the clinic where they found Dr. Silverscales, where Mandy, using her wild shape powers, was able to kind of figure out that maybe something isn't quite correct in what we're seeing, especially after Nosh getting his brains beaten in by his own doings, was healed miraculously back to his normal operating level.
Wait. Hold on, goddammit. Don't fucking lie. It wasn't by his own doings.
It was the first one was by his own doing, and you definitely assisted in the rest of it. It also was his idea, so it technically was his doing. Anyway, the party then went to Heaven's Gate itself, where they talked to some of the nurses. They talked to the doctor, Dr. Barbados, who was there. The party got kind of a half-assed answer out of him, and so, trying to follow behind him, Mandy snuck into the doctor's lounge to look around. When she wild-shaped out, she had checked a few things. She saw there were 4 desks. There were only 3 lab coats, 2 pairs of shoes, and that Dr. Coomer, the next resident that was taking over, had stepped in and left the office. But Dr. Barbados is nowhere to be seen. As she went to leave, Dr. Coomer was standing in front of the door, getting ready to basically return to the lounge to grab some extra paperwork, where he read her the riot act over the essentially regional laws that she had been breaking by going into here, and was very concerned about what was happening and why she was here, because he didn't know who she was. Definitely a lot of questions. And then when he let the party in, his face was losing the ability to kind of keep its shape, so came around to essentially breaking out of character and telling them that his name is Andreas and he is a succubus and he does have a medical degree. And that's where we left ourselves off during the questioning of what the serum is, what Heaven's Gate is, and why is the succubus working as a doctor. So we also established a safe word for character RPs. It is pistachio. So if any point, if you want to signal to your party members that you would like them to basically enter into the fray, for instance, the scene before where it was Dr. Coomer really kind of reading Mandy the Riot Act, if at any point she had just said pistachio, I would have stopped it and let her signal what's going on. Alright, and then Phantom coming in with the 750 bits for a curse.
Like the douchebag he is.
Here we go with the curse. I love it. So before we get started, I'm going to go grab my water. You guys talk amongst yourselves, get yourselves into character. You guys are currently sitting in the doctor's lounge, with Andreas basically sitting in a chair in front of you as he is returned to his, essentially what you believe is his true form. And so I will be back in but a moment.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry guys, my mom fell in the kitchen.
She alright?
She alright?
Yeah, she's okay. She bumped her head, but no blood or nothing, so she's okay. Well, she was able to walk back to her room okay.
Being able to walk back to her room okay doesn't mean she doesn't have like in 20 or so minutes I can take the light, check and see if her fingers are dilated.
Okay. Okay.
Dr. Rex is coming in here.
I have too many swords, you guys.
Sort of.
What?
Let's see. There's salties and stealth and rage and burn.
Almost everyone here.
Yeah.
You're a sword in.
Yep. Too many.
Too many. All right.
It's not even too many. Y'all never actually do much of anything.
My feelings.
I mean, I slipped KK a doodle pick this morning.
A doodle? Or I'm hoping the dog. Yes.
Well, you know what doodles are in Australia, right?
Are they Johnsons? Am I surrounded by Johnsons?
Yes.
Ah, my goodness.
Besides, KK wants the doodle picks. Look at her.
I mean, I'm not going to speak for KK. She is her own koala. So, So I'm looking through my little handbook of curse ideas. Because I wasn't prepared to have a curse put down. So I'm going to have to figure one out. And so what I have believed is that I'm going to do this.
I thought with the party curse. What the fuck did you do, Phantom?
Cursed us.
So now I'm going to roll randomly. There are 5 of you here. I'm not going to count Nosh. So I'm basically going to roll d6 with 6s being roll again. And we're
Since he's not here, can we just give him the
No.
curse once he comes in?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Damn it.
I keep rolling 6s. There, 5. So Tovar.
Ah,
Tovar, you are haunted by the ghost of the last person you unalived.
fuck, what's
So let's roll the clock back a little bit to the very last person that you unalived was
that
you were
fucking the first trial, right?
Yeah, technically. So yeah, you are now haunted by essentially the ghost of a dragonborn barbarian. It takes the form of a essentially devil on your shoulder.
Ugh. So I get a
Like,
little
use another one of
dragonborn.
those.
So I get
I
a
was
little
about to say,
dragonborn on
really?
my shoulder.
Another one?
Just a little dragonborn on the shoulder. Hey, you're not raging right.
So this one you guys cannot see, but you definitely see Tovar's attention will be pulled.
Huh.
Now, my chat, you have this wonderful thing to do is if you go ahead and highlight your message, you will be doing the lines for the devil on the shoulder for the foreseeable future, that Tovar is haunted by this devil. So those of you who wish to be active, now's your time to come forth and really just give him weird things to hear in his ears.
Oh, you should be really glad that Mrs. R is in Mississippi right now.
You guys can also do it if you want. If you want to highlight your stuff in chat, if you think something's funny.
Just
Jenna,
remember,
I'm aware it's
he
danger
was
to do it.
decapitated.
I'm aware.
No. I was reminding it the fucking chat. That's how I killed him.
Yes.
Was decapitation because he was a pussy.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
What?
So, Tovar, you see the dragonborn sitting on your shoulder. He is holding his head under his left arm. And as you're sitting there looking at the succubus who's transformed in front of you, the last events essentially happening just a few seconds ago, you feel this presence on your shoulder just look at you and go, "Ah, so this is where I am now. This is the afterlife? That's kind of shitty. You need to clean your ears more."
At least my head's still attached to my neck.
Well, you can go fuck yourself, guy. My neck is still stiff, you fucking asshole. But, I mean, it's been okay. I just didn't think that when I asked for head from the gods that I'd be holding my own in my hands. And that's unfortunate.
Maybe don't be such a pussy next time.
No, I'll keep that in mind as you were emotionally scarred from your visit there. So I think we're both pretty equal on the go fuck yourself table.
That's a fair point.
Are you gonna punch this guy?
Am I gonna punch this guy?
Yeah, are you gonna punch this guy? I mean, he looks kind of fucky. I don't know.
Are you gonna punch this guy?
Oh, you're still
Why are we
talking
punching
as the
this guy?
fucking dragon.
Yeah, I'm talking as the devil on your
What?
shoulder, and you're talking out loud to the
Is
party.
that happening?
What, you guys don't see him? The fucking dragonborn that I killed.
What?
Homie.
This reminds me of the time of the family reunion. It was a terrible time. They screamed, we screamed, they all screamed in the terrible house fire. It was unpleasant for everyone.
You son of
Why
a
is he
bitch. I know
giggling?
where you got this curse from. Out of character, I know where you got this curse from. I fucking love this.
Yeah,
this
and I
clip
know
of
that if the person who thought of this, if I told him about this, would be dying in his fucking pants right now. So this is one of those VODs I hope he watches, because I know he watches some of them.
Jesus, Phantom.
I gotta tell you, Tovar. It's one of those things of, am I upset that you cut my head off? Yes. Can I see that you are suffering from gingivitis? Yes. But with all those muscles you have, I bet you're also incompetent, down under. Are you compensating?
My dick's bigger than yours.
I am also 6 inches tall, so I mean, this isn't really a fair competition. But what I do know, as I've been listening closely on your shoulder as the hours have gone by, that these goons, they think you're crazy. They think you're nuts. But you're gonna have to prove it, which you're already doing. But just keep talking to me. I think it's gonna do you wonders for your social image.
You guys really don't fucking see him?
I think you're
I'm just-
hallucinating right now.
I think the succubus thought you were talking to him about your dick being bigger than his. Try to whip it out.
You don't need to fucking AO after this.
Man, you are just selling it. You know what you need to do? You need to start punching people. I've seen you rage. It looks like shit. Don't know how you killed me. Fucking weak ass.
Oh. That's tough talk for somebody holding their fucking head right now.
Hey, you know what you should do? Since you keep getting mocked by that Eric Croker who thinks he's better than you, tell that winged boy over there you want to go for a magic carpet ride. Jenna, I hate you, but that was wonderful.
Okay.
So you guys see Tovar having this very back and forth conversation with this thing on his shoulder, clearly turning his head and talking to whatever is here. Andreas is looking at him like he's batshit, and is instead looking to Mandy and the rest of you guys. And it's just like, that is just Andreas looks and goes, are you okay? You seem to be talking to something. Are you okay, Mr. Tovar?
Fucking dragonborn I killed is on my shoulder.
Interesting.
He also wants
On your
me.
shoulder.
He also wants me to fucking ask Rage for a magic carpet ride.
Sure.
Andreas looks at you like you're absolutely bad shit. And just turns to Mandy and Rage and the rest of you and just goes, so, as I am evaluating your Goliath friend, what do you want to do about the situation you find yourself in?
Will ask if he that he claims he's not doing any harm to people, but how
Here's, so, I guess that is the first thing I should explain, I imagine. So if you don't already know, is that succubi, incubuses, however you wish to call us, uh, use the life force of our victims to regain the youth of ourselves. In my case, I've always wanted to be a doctor, and so in turn, the way I found it is that I'm able to do my medical work here with the older population, as well as utilize what life force they wish to give to help others. What essentially happens is that when someone comes to Heaven's Gate and they finally feel ready to move on, is that I will ask them what makes them happy. If it's a dead loved one, a past relative, a friend they once knew, and I will spend the night with them as that individual. Sit with them, talk with them, have a meal with them, let them be happy as they're on their way out. And I will begin to take that life force from them to only a small amount to regain myself, to recharge my ability, so to speak. The rest of it will go into making the serums you've seen used on those that are deathly sick in this city. And so they know what day because I tell them. They can feel it. But I always make sure that they go comfortably and with happiness in their hearts. No one dies here alone or afraid.
Out of character, my curse is done, yes.
The last thing you hear from the Dragonborn is he goes, "Well, it's been fun, you fucking idiot. But we know you need to do. You need to look at that dwarf. He seems a little too full of himself. You need to squat down to his eye level, and that he needs to get to your level without a step stool. I need you to tell him. That way my spirit can be free, or I guess that's how that works here."
So 7.5 foot tall Tovar gets down on one knee, which is probably still fucking taller than Cobral, yeah?
Yes.
You need to lay down.
Fucking leans over. He's like, "Hey, this dragonborn on my shoulder says that you're full of yourself, and you need to get on my level without using a step stool." And then just like stands back up slowly.
With that, you see the Dragonborn go look at his hand as he starts to disappear into dust and goes, "Well, I guess I'll be back later." And he just kind of snaps his fingers and like poofs into a cloud of glitter that just hits you square in the face.
Fucking goddamn it!
Just a face full of glitter.
Why? Why do I keep
Because
getting
fuck
hit with
you, you
glitter?
need glitter, you ass.
Why do I keep getting glitter?
And then
Just like
with
actual glitter that we
yes, it's you guys see this poof of glitter off his shoulder that hits him square in the face and kind of floats down around him.
I fucking told you guys.
Did you just get popped by a fairy? Is that what? What? Y'all, I'm confused. Where'd this glitter come from?
It
So-
was from the fucking asshole dragonborn. I told you he was there.
Mandy, the glitter begins to tickle your nose as the cloud spreads into the room. And you begin the feeling to sneeze.
I hate you.
And when you sneeze, you randomly take the shape of an animal.
Okay.
So
animal?
I need you, I will tell you. So I need you to roll me a con save to not sneeze.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, how
Now,
you doing, Levi?
here's the question: what dice do I want to use?
That is a good question.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Apparently not that one with that 10.
So you rip a hearty sneeze, and as you see her sneeze, you see her poof into a cloud of dust as you look down at the chair where Mandy was sitting, and there is just now a ferret.
Okay.
Oh,
Should have been a spider.
Speak.
the Boogle Queen has turned into a tiny Boogle.
Can I jump on Salty and fight him?
Yes.
Can I grab her to stop her?
So we're just gonna have it is that Mandy jumps on you, and you're trying to grab her as Andreas is again watching this happen in real time and is very concerned as he just told you basically what he was doing. He saw glitter poof off of Tovar's shoulder, float down around him. He then saw Mandy sneeze, turn into a ferret, and then immediately jump at Tovar and is trying to claw up his chest. As he's trying to pull her off, and he just holds his hand up to block the vision out of his right eye. Just like a handmade blinder, so to speak, looking at the rest of the party and goes, so, I've told you what I do
Sure,
here.
catch
Uh,
her.
and I'm waiting for how you believe it. The reason that I went through all this trouble is that, one, I wish to practice medicine in the traditional sense, but also when I originally came here, this town was not in the best estate. The people are religious, they are scared, and their hygiene was subpar. So thankfully I was able to come in and help a lot of those people that were being unfortunately, god damn it, Phantom.
For fuck's sakes.
No more. Cease. They'll be later. I'll keep it banked in my brain.
Just keep that one banked for Nosh when he fucking finally joins.
Yeah, that's fair. So he's just, the people here were downtrodden. They were dirty, they were sick. And unfortunately, I couldn't change it as a regular doctor. I just didn't have the resource to fix them, and then I found that there was a way to help by taking the life force that would be given up freely by those who wish to pass into the next realm and heal those that had terminal diseases, who were afflicted by polio, mumps, measles, had significant birth defects or otherwise.
So I just want to point out that at this point, because Mandy fucking didn't beat my roll,
You
and
do
I'm just
catch her.
kinda like, I caught her and I'm just kind of like holding her out. Like this, like underneath her armpits. You know, like just dangling
holding a
the
little
ferret.
baby.
No, like holding a fucking ferret.
Just like,
Just underneath the armpits, fucking body dangling and shit.
You know, like a murder slinky.
Just be like, oh, look at your baggy pants.
Yeah, like you're holding a baby. Like you're holding a baby
Hold
in
a
front of you.
baby fucking with one arm underneath its armpits.
Oh, you're doing one arm.
so Mandy, you sneeze again as he's holding you, as you are trying to claw very, very frantically, and you turn into a very large Canadian goose.
Fan-fucking-tastic. I peck at his eyes.
Roll the peck. So again, Andreas is trying his best to ignore what is happening in the part of his office, as he tells the rest of the party what has gone on. Fine, make it double and much worse. Alright, Phantom, I'll make it double and much worse on Nosh when he gets here. We'll see if it's a Nosh thing or a party thing. We'll get there when we get there.
What do you got? Fucking goddamn cobra chicken.
Yeah, you got yourself a cobra chicken. So-
I'm asking her what she's got, because if she doesn't beat a 26, then I'm holding her by her fucking neck now.
I'm not even gonna beat that by anything, so.
Alright, so now I'm just holding this fucking goose. I got her. You know what? I'm not gonna hold her by her neck. I got fucking one hand around the body, and then I got the other hand, like, holding the head away from me.
So as you're holding back the cobra chicken, you see that it begins to grow in size as
Oh.
it becomes a dire cobra chicken.
What the fuck?
A dire goat.
Thank God.
What the hell?
It's Koval's worst nightmare.
It goes from the size of a regular Canadian goose, which can range anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds, to now something in the terms of 90 to 120. Its size growing, its muscle strength growing. And so you feel it's time to step out of the room as the goose is growing in size in your hands.
Like, with her?
Yes.
About to fucking wrestle the goddamn goose.
So you guys see the goose start to grow in Tovar's hands. Tovar has the thought of, I'm going to take this outside. And as he's walking outside, you're hearing the squawks go from the higher pitched squawk of a goose to like going down in pitch. As he's leaving the building.
As he's leaving, like, the room, could I just say, hey, Tovar, can you get that under control?
What the fuck do you think I'm trying to do, Finny?
And so Tovar
It's
takes...
not my fault she's growing in my hands.
Looks
The-
like
God
a choke chicken.
damn it, Trenna.
So Tovar takes the dire goose that is Mandy outside and happens to stop near the window that is in front of the doctor's lounge. The window basically is on the side of the building. And so you hear just fuck as you imagine his hand grip got loose on one of it, and you just hear frantic honking and swing slaps as the dire goose and Tovar now begin to tussle. So that is now in the background as you guys are talking to Andreas.
We're listening to the Benny Hill theme.
28.
Thank you.
Yep, Benny Hill theme is happening.
Nah, not with a fucking 28 in athletics, goddammit.
Should be an acrobatic.
I'm gonna burn one of those curse things to have you re-roll disadvantage.
You motherfucker.
It's not fair when you have the entire advantage over that.
Fuck.
Can't choke the chicken too hard. Shut up,
Jesus
Jenna.
Christ, it doesn't even matter.
It might. It might.
I rolled a fucking 4. It's not gonna matter.
No, alright. So yeah, so you hear squawking and ruffling as like this is a whole bunch of commotion outside. And so we're gonna put a pause on that shit for a minute.
Hold on, Mandy. You rolled acrobatics, not athletics.
Yeah, she's chasing me. I'm fucking trying to pin her down.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna put a pause on that for a minute as we
My
come back
acrobatics
to
is also better than my athletics. So.
we're gonna come back to the party that's still inside the room. As Andreas is essentially just waiting for y'all's response on it.
Love you, Mandy.
So they willingly give their life force, but nothing, you don't do anything fishy with their souls.
No, their souls pass along as per normal. All it is, I take enough to make the serums and to recharge myself so I don't leave this plane. And I leave enough where basically it's the last piece of a candle that's burning out its wick. That way they pass naturally and I don't act on it.
I would like the insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
15.
You see that he's telling the truth, or what you believe to be the truth.
Will just kind of cross his arms, lean back a little bit, and go,
Did,
Roll religion for me, Coverall.
I believe that's -1. So that's
Oof. So you would at least know from your training as a paladin that succubi and incubi cannot take the soul unless they take everything from the victim. Like they have to basically remove everything from it, and then the soul is either dissipated into the ether or sent down to the infernal plane where the incubi or succubi comes from. So in this case, you, from your general knowledge, are like, oh, that makes sense. So you do believe him, but you're also on the line of like, I don't have all the information, but nothing is immediately red flagging telling me that it's not.
do these people know what you're doing?
They're excited to be
Levi?
here. Yeah, it's I've told them that when they're ready to pass along, of that I have magics at my disposal, that I've been working with a sorcerer to essentially create a magical clone of a loved one and to let them pass away. It's just to help them bridge it. And that all I ask for them is that if they are willing to do so, they can stay here as long as they like without having to pay anything. And that when it's time for them to pass along, I will take what is necessary to keep myself here and then recharge the spell and make the serum, and then they will go peacefully whenever they wish.
And they're choosing when they pass, not you.
Yeah, it's if they are ready to pass away, all I do is I facilitate what they want for those nights or night of that they want from that other part of themselves. If they just seem to want to talk to their old friends from the war that have passed away and they can show me images of them, I can pull those thoughts out so they can have those conversations they could never have. If they wish to see their dead husband, dead wife, their mother, their father, that can all be facilitated when they are ready. It is both in the sense of gaining closure for one's life so that they can pass without repentance, but also that it gives them that bit of happiness so when they go cleanly. Aw, shit! Zenda's raiding with party of 10! Sup, Raiders? Here we go! Oh, Jenna throwing another 750.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Thanks,
Joy.
Mandy.
God damn it!
Alright, so I'm going to give myself
Many
a
curses.
dread, and then we are going to bank those 2 curses for later if they come up. It's a raid! Sup, Raiders? You have come into the first 50-ish minutes of episode 15 of Siege of Etheria. Welcome. My
Into
name
chaos.
is into chaos. My name is Burn the Priest. I'm a dungeon master of 20 years. I do variety streaming and variety games otherwise. I do co-op games with these crazy goobers that are here, and I run sessions on the weekends. If you want, you can do !Discord to get information to come join the server. You can pull up a !D&D to look at all the times for the different games that are going on. We're all here. We're all here to have fun. And past that point, sit around, hang out, put some points in. There's points at the bottom. If you guys want their bits, there's a bunch of channel point stuff you guys can do to catch me on my offside and make things fun. But we're going to get back into it. The party is currently dealing with a little bit of shenanigans outside from the druid having a bit of a sneezing fit. And on the inside, we're currently talking with a succubus that has been taking life force as equal trade to heal others. Exactly. So, back to what you were
How
saying.
about a big cup of fuck you? It's not even like I'm meant to have an issue with sneezing.
I never said... It was just the point out, Mandy.
The shenanigans of the druid.
Yeah, I mean, it is shenanigans with the druid and the
Always
barbarian.
The druid's fault.
The
You
druid's
didn't
fault.
have to fucking start attacking me, goddammit.
I did too.
So,
You
Mandy,
could have fucking took the compliment.
so you guys on the inside, you're having this back and forth, and you're asking him these basic intimate questions of making sure that he is telling the truth, that he's not pulling things away from people against their will. And then outside, you hear the honking turn into a roar as one of you peeks out the curtain and you see Mandy's turn into an owl bear.
Fuck's sakes!
Fan-fucking-tastic. I love it.
Cool. Peaks out just. It's like a fucking owlbear.
For fuck's sakes!
As
Seems
it
like
is,
Tovar's having a rough time out there.
it is definitely an owl bear rave out there. As you see, Mandy is definitely giving Tovar a run for his money, as she is still trying to smack him with her
You
big
know
owl
what?
bear mitts.
It's time to get fucked, Mandy.
Hello there.
He's good, right?
Yeah, I'm
Thanks for the
raging during
follow.
this shit. God damn it!
All right.
Fuck's sakes!
Would totally hug Eris 100%.
So yeah, so you guys hear,
Fucking
hear from
athletics with
outside.
Fucking
Advantage,
What?
yes.
yeah.
So you guys hear Tovar yell his catchphrase of "Get fucked" as you see his muscles grow even larger as he just collides like wrestling style with the owlbear.
I'm sorry, Mandy. You're fucking not going anywhere.
And
That's the one with that,
Fan-fucking-tastic. I love
you-
it.
you see
Great.
you see him run up to the owlbear. Mandy, use the owlbear, get a little bit of advantage on Tovar as you're knocking him around. But as he stands up, he just runs at you, gets you at the hips, and just suplexes the owlbear as you guys see stuff fall off the shells from the impact as they're doing stuff outside.
Cornwall, that window that you looked out, is that open or is it just glass?
It could probably open.
Floki.
Thank you, Ray.
Let's-
You
Let's-
said it's probably open.
He said that.
Can you open that?
Yes.
Alright.
DM, I want to pull a stunning arrow out of my hunter's quiver.
Cool.
Shoot Tovar with it.
Dope. Roll the
Are you
hit.
fucking kidding me?
You'll have advantage because you're hitting him from the side.
Cool. So just roll for a hit?
Yep. Roll an advantage hit.
For
Oh,
fucking
I didn't do
what?
advantage, but 17 is 1. Oh, a nat 20!
Yeah. So you basically feel an arrow hit you in the ass, Tovar. What does your stun arrow do again? What does it say for the quiver?
1d10 force damage. On a successful hit, the target must make a Constitution saving throw, or be stunned for up to 1 minute.
All right. Give me a con save, Mr. Tovar.
Fucking 22.
He's still
Jesus.
going. He's
Fuck
still
you.
going. He feels that arrow hit him in the ass cheek as he's suplexing the owlbear, and
You're
he's
fucking
still
lucky
going.
that I don't go crazy for fucking getting hit by friendlies or anything anymore.
He's still going. You can see that he's starting to slow down a little bit, but him and Mandy are definitely trading shots outside. This has turned into a complete Knuckle House episode outside
I don't
the
know why
retirement
the fuck
home.
you're shooting me.
You're winning too much. I'm supposed to give Mandy a chance.
It won't give her a chance, but the thought is appreciated. So
If he was
that's
stunned for a minute, I might give her a chance.
so that whole thing's
Give
going
me a
on.
chance to get away from him.
You fire that stun arrow into his cheeks.
Fucking, and they just bounce off.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Bounce off Etheria's ass.
yeah. Etherea's ass.
no,
just
no,
flexes
no, no.
and fucking-
It hit. It hit. Definitely
did hit.
But you just didn't get stunned.
Yeah, it didn't do its full job, but
Because it fucking went into the cheeks of fucking Etheria.
it went into the cheeks of Etheria.
Because somebody had fucking luck with a goddamn conclave throw.
All right, so
I have a +5 in Constitution
all right,
saves.
so with that, you guys go through that, and then as you kind of stand back up, ready to tackle Mandy, as you see the owlbears trying to pull away from you, um, Mandy, you sneeze a final time, and I will give you the choice out of character. Do you wish to try and transform into something bigger, or do you just want to turn back into Mandy and try to get out of here?
I'd rather just turn back into me
All
and
right.
get out of here.
So
My
you sneeze a
God.
final time, and in a puff of dust, you form shift back into Mandy as your like hair's all messed up, your clothes are all kind of goofed, and you're just like, ha!
Like, fucking God, it's over.
Touch me again, Tobar.
You fucking came after me.
You
It was
deserved
all
it.
in defense.
Eh.
What? You made a cute ferret.
All right, let's just close this window.
You
now.
see, it was good. Andreas
Yeah,
walks
close the
over.
window.
Yeah, it just locks the window after you close it, and goes, "Well, they make their way back inside. What do you have to say about what I've brought forth? I've given you all the answers that I can. I've made them as honest as I possibly can. So, in that point, what say you?"
As long as they're not constantly pursuing us, doing this willingly, nobody will want it.
Yeah, I don't have any issue either, especially since the town's doing actually pretty good.
So help me, if I find out anything different, I'm gonna stick that fucking giant raging asshole on you.
Do we come back in at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not going to be the only issue that it is to
Andreas holds his hand up and goes, "I am a doctor at my core. I simply wish to help those who cannot help themselves. I have made sure to not take anything that I do not need. The only thing that I have taken more from this town is the funding necessary to get the equipment to take care of those who have been injured. This town was afraid of science and medicine for many, many years. Many of the people here were suffering ailments that are not found anywhere else in these other towns. That's the reason I came here in the first place, was not because of the fact that they had a larger geriatric population. That was a secondary thought. The mayor's son himself had suffered polio, and those that were here who called themselves medical professionals refused to treat him when he was an infant. The disease progressed, and he wound up losing the ability to use his legs. That is until I found a way to convert life force from one to the other. And now his son can walk. He can have a full and fulfilling life due to the volunteered life force of a dying grandfather who wished to pass along as his life was done. And he went out with a smile on his face and happiness in his heart. And that's all I can do.
Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna stop you right there. Speaking of the mayor, does he know what you're doing here?
The mayor knows of the doctors that are here. He knows that I have created a serum that does miracles. But past that, he does not know of what goes on. But I would
Does he know the
imagine
process of getting the serum.
you're the only ones that know.
Okay.
One thing I will say, fuck,
Appreciate it, Joe.
I can't remember Carson's fucking character's name.
Eris.
What was it?
Eris?
Eris? Okay. I think you guys should let her out. I think you being the doctor could have some pull to get her out of jail.
He looks at you and goes, "I didn't realize that she was in jail."
Apparently for,
She was too fucking horny for her own good.
He sits back in his chair and goes, "Yeah, that was a thing she tried to do. Um, being a creature from the circle of lust, we have, though we do utilize that to our advantage, we're also relatively immune to others using it against us. So unless she had an issue that I needed to fix, I just don't really, don't really give in to advances. It's not something that I do, especially in trying to keep a cover on multiple doctors. But the fact that she's in jail still, that she's in jail to start with, means that there have been some rumblings in the town, and I will use what leverage I can to try and get her out.
Well, it's either you get her out or we break her out.
Well,
And
let's
nobody's gonna like that.
let's try the diplomatic approach from my end first, and then if worse comes to worse, you've learned what it is here. Hopefully there is nothing else in this town that will come back to bite you, as I am just trying to do what is right by the people. I have no malicious intent with those who live here.
Well, I think that y'all should probably tell Eris what's going on, since she wanted us to come investigate. She was concerned about what was happening here.
You are right, and that is something that I will do. Is if we are able to get her out, I will bring her back here and I will explain it to her what I explained to you. And hopefully we will be able to fix the bridges that have been burned because of my actions. I wished no misaligned emotions or deeds to fall upon those around me. I was simply trying to take care of those less fortunate. But if you wish to go and try and speak to the sheriff now, I will join you, and I will go forth as Dr. Barbados, and I will speak to him personally.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll come with you.
Right, 'cause
He
you were, like,
nods.
super low.
Oh,
Just then, you're,
He was fine with me.
You're
I mean, I have him at 177. He sounded like he was talking a little lower right then.
I always try to.
Yeah, I heard him fine.
Were you
so-
standing above your mic again, Rexus?
I mean, I've just angled my mic a little bit closer to my face, but I was
Huh?
saying
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, so you see him stand up. He brushes off his coat, and you see him form back into Dr. Coomer. He picks up the clipboard that he had with him, and he goes, "Come with me. Let us go fix what has been wronged.
Wait, I thought you said you were gonna be Dr. Barbados.
I have to make sure that the nurses know that I will be unavailable for a few minutes. Since Dr. Coomer is the one on duty tonight in this retirement home."
Fair enough.
Nah. And so you see him walk out the door and motion you all behind him. He goes and speaks with a couple of the nurses and basically lets them know that he's going to be out of the office for a minute. The orders are in place and everything, so everything should run smoothly unless anything comes up. And then he walks you guys outside, and you see that as he passes by a tree in front of you, you see his form shift immediately into that of Dr. Barbados. So, you all make your way down to the jailhouse with Dr. Barbados in turn, and he motions for you guys to stay outside for a minute. He's going to step inside and try and speak to the sheriff beforehand. And so you see him step into the building. You hear a conversation, very faintly at first, and then become more aggressive towards Andreas from the sheriff. As you hear the sheriff start yelling things about, "We can't have no one like that walking around our town freely. What the hell is wrong with you? I thought you were a man of God, a man of science." And it starts really leaning into him. You hear things start being thrown as impacts kind of land within the building. And you see Andreas walk out of the front door, simply saying, "Thank you for your time, Sheriff. I will make sure to tell them all of the words you said, minus the expletives that I thought you were an educated man." And as he closes the door, you hear something crash against it, like he threw a mug, as something shatters and hits the ground. And you can see that he is definitely shaken from the encounter, as it's been a few minutes, and he's definitely holding back a lot of emotions so he can keep his facade up. And he simply looks at you and goes, "Well, as much as I would love to say I was successful, it seems that the sheriff, in tunes of what the mayor wishes, or someone wishes, whether it's the religious leaders or otherwise, has deemed Eris unsafe outside the town. I told him how it was a misunderstanding and that she should be let free, as it should be a simple matter of doing so. As you could probably hear from his arguments, is that they were full of expletives that I will not repeat, and a lot of narrow-minded ideas. So I imagine now you'll go with your second plan."
I was just gonna say, like, with our guys real quick, like talking to the party. Should we just try and talk to the sheriff before the second plan and say we'll transfer her to our jail?
Yeah, we can. That way we can get her out of here, and then as soon as we get her out
Without
of the
any
town,
issues.
yeah, as soon as we get her out of the town, we can just let her know that, like, hey, just fuck it, this is what's going on, you know, just stay away from this town. That way, you know, it doesn't fucking seem bad.
Here are theories, Ass. Go for it. Go tell them what's what.
This is meant to be for the fucking party to do, not just me.
I'm coming.
Oh
in
no,
with
no, I'll be there. Don't you worry. I'll be there. I'm just not going in first.
Oh my. Tovar, as you stand in front of...
Mine's better.
God damn it. As you stand in front of the party, as you guys are discussing your plan of attack, two things happen. One, you see a large eagle against the sunset as it starts to fly in towards you guys. Not in an aggressive manner. It seems to be carrying a small parcel in its talons, and is flying down towards you. And as you are looking at the eagle, questioning, why the fuck is an eagle bringing you a small package? You feel a hand slap you in your back, followed by a cold feeling run across your body as you feel odd and chilled.
Okay.
No, it's just Tomar who gets hit in the back by a hand. As the rest of you have, well, one of you would more than likely seen a certain someone casting something. But Tovar, you just feel a very solid slap in your back between your shoulder blades, followed by a very cold sensation running down your body.
Man, did you just fucking cold touch me?
You look to her, and you see a shit-eating grin on her face.
What the fuck?
I got your back, bitch.
Quite literally.
Why?
Is that
You're
what the
calling me
uwu was
cute.
about? Is that what the
No,
uwu was
I
about?
was the uwu was because Lord Panda-chan is uwooing in my chat.
You were adorable as a fairy.
I mean, she's still pretty cute.
Do all of you want to be chill touched? I'm confused. Like, really?
So as you guys are talking with Mandy, and she's just like finger gunning people, like ready to chill touch everyone in the group, the eagle gets close
I would too.
and drops the parcel in the middle of you guys and squawks and flies off back into the distance. And on the ground is a small 6x6 inch box, brown paper and twine with a little tag on it. The tag simply states, "From the offices of Thurlby, Silverthorn Artificer."
I pick it up and say, "You guys want to open this up right now?"
Let's do it.
Wait, I got a question. Because I have resistance to fucking cold.
It's necrotic damage, it's not cold
Oh,
damage.
God damn it.
I don't think
Okay,
any of us were
so-
expecting a package.
I know, I wasn't.
So who picked it up? Was it Coverall?
but
Coverall, did you pick it up?
Listen, I wonder what it could be. Finrod did.
Sorry.
Oh, Finrod did. Okay, I wanted to make sure. I couldn't remember who said they picked up. So Finrod, you pick up the box, and it seems not super heavy. It seems like there's a little clanky thing inside of it. You open it, and it's relatively simple to open. Everything seems to be folded precisely and tied seamlessly, as one would imagine. And you open it, and you open the flaps of the box, and inside is what looks to be a stone bracelet. The bracelet seems to be made out of segments of the stone from the keep, with seem to be chain and beads running in between them, making a bracelet of sorts that seems to slip easily over one's wrist, with the stone pieces being a couple inches wide, so it's a relatively thick one. A note inside the box simply says, "For whenever you feel homesick, Thurlby."
Is it addressed to anybody?
It just says, like,
I was just-
"Dear adventurers." It's to the group as a whole.
Oh, how nice of him.
alright, well, which of us is trying this on?
Totally feel like it's not just stone. But let's try to figure this out.
You said it's a wider bracelet?
Yeah, it's 2 inch, like 2 inch wide, give or take. And Finrod, as you pick it up and you examine it before someone decides to put it on, you see that there is a single word carved onto the top of one of the stones, and it simply says, "Unforeseen consequences." And it seems to be the two words put together on the stone, and there is nowhere else on the stone that is written.
Mandy wants to put it on.
Unforeseen consequences.
And Mandy, he didn't put it on, he picked it up to look at it. So
No,
if you want to put it
no,
on,
Mandy wants to
Mandy,
put it on.
then you can.
Do it.
Anyone want this bracelet?
Can I just shove my hand straight through it?
Yeah.
Cool.
As I'm just holding it, she just
Yeah.
like throws her.
Yeah. So you put your hand through it, and it's just a regular bracelet. It's heavy, but like not heavy enough that it would throw off your aim or anything, but it's definitely got some density to it.
Interesting.
And when you put it on, the words light up for a second and then dim back to the regular stone color.
Wow. So maybe it's not Mandy's.
Do you want to try it?
Well, it's...
See if the words stay
Is
lit to you?
someone going to say the words?
What was it?
Unforeseen
Unforeseen
consequences.
Unforeseen consequences.
So you speak the words to the bracelet as you wear it, as you're looking at it and you read it. All of a sudden, wherever your hand is pointed, the bracelet comes off and splits into these segments that kind of spin in front of you until they all become equally spaced and make a doorway. Inside of these pieces, slowly materializing, becomes the door to the front of your keep.
We got a teepee.
Oh, cool.
Hold on, fancy.
Look at that.
All right.
I opened the door.
You open the door,
Of course
and
you would.
inside you can see, almost as if you were standing in front of your keep normally. Inside you see the mess hall. You see Greg working the commerce as always. And you seem to be, this door seems to be in the middle of the foyer. It doesn't seem to be the exact front door, but it seems to be a door. And so as you open it, Thurlby, who is walking around checking on things, sees you and goes, "Ah! You received it! Hooray! Huzzah!"
What the hell?
Cool. Now, how do we close it? 'Cause I have an idea.
Simply close the door and say the words again, and the bracelet will return to normal.
Hey, wait, while I'm here, did you finish
I
my
think
arm?
I know what that is
Ah,
now.
yes, of course. And he throws you your new prosthetic arm.
Ah.
Don't forget, close the door on your way out. You're living in a draft. Heathens.
My bad. Shit.
Wait.
Wanted to see what it was.
What happens to the person wearing the bracelet if they walk through it and close the door?
Well, what would simply happen is if you walk through the door and all of you followed and you said the words again, the bracelet would simply reform wherever you are and it would go back to your wrist. Or the door would stay there until you so wished for it. There's no way for you to be cut in half using this spell if that's what you're asking. I'm not an idiot.
That is not what I was asking.
Damn! You trying to get my hand cut off?
Totally not what I was asking. Totally not what I was looking at.
That's rude.
Maybe I wanted Tovar's hand cut off again. It would have been funny.
Cut off his other arm.
Don't make me fucking rip off your wings.
That'll be the first time you do anything.
Funny for you, they're detachable. Haha.
Yeah, but if they get broken, then he's gonna have to fucking wait again.
I have to wait again. So yeah,
Or
so
rip off his arms.
so you
I got
guys
other arrows
realize
in this
from
cookery, you know.
So, from what
Yeah.
Thurlby said, is essentially that if you have the bracelet on your person, you can say the words of unforeseen consequences, and the doorway would open, leading you back to the Silverthorn Keep in McCrag, until either all of you step through the door, or until you say the spell again, whichever one comes first, and the bracelet would then return to the person who is wearing it. If you use it while you're in the keep, it will reopen where you last were.
Is the door still open?
Yes.
Hey, Theraby, if this bracelet ever gets back to the keep without us with it, can you just send it back to us?
Well, yes, that's how I got it to you in the first place. By Eagle. His
Awesome.
name is Bartholomew.
Bartholomew is awesome.
you.
Tell him thank you so much.
But of
You'll
course,
service us again very soon.
yes, I will be here. Bring me more materials and we will see about making you something really fancy.
Always Theraby.
Okay then.
Yes, as you close the door behind you, The bracelet returning to
Yeah,
its
you
normal
did.
size and then slipping back onto Mandy's wrist.
Okay, Mandy, I need you to take that bracelet off for me.
Why?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Koval knows my idea.
I think it's quite a clever one, actually.
Yeah, okay, cool. Maybe
All right.
maybe I should tell the rest of them, huh?
Aye.
I think I already
So-
have it.
So Eris, her cell has this little door right about waist height, right? Probably slip her the bracelet.
She
Yeah,
gets
huh?
out, they send it back to the depot.
Exactly.
Okay, or we can fucking try and
Well,
do
I mean,
the
if we
original
can't get
plan.
her out normally.
Look, if you want to fight the sheriff because he has a better ass than you, that's fine.
Nobody said
Let me
anything
say.
about fighting. We just said fucking transferring a prisoner. Instead of fucking prison breaking her and then ruining the fucking reputation of the party.
I was more thinking this would be if we can't get her out.
I mean, what's the harm in if she has a bracelet? So if we can't get her out, then
No, Zendef, not fighting a prisoner, fighting the jailer, the sheriff who has her as a prisoner.
someone can still slip her the bracelet while we were talking to the sheriff.
And then if she uses it prematurely,
Well, then so be it. How is the sheriff going to know what she did?
we were here.
Yeah,
She
if we're
hasn't been able to escape. It's gonna get put onto the party. You have to be a little bit smarter on this shit.
okay, Tovar, we'll do everything your way. Go ahead, go talk to the sheriff.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, go talk to him. You want to talk to him? Go do it. No point standing around here saying what we're gonna do.
Just literally agreed to go talk to the sheriff first to try and get a prison transfer.
Then go talk to the sheriff. No one's stopping you.
Shall we?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys step in, Tovar leading the walk-in as all of you enter into the jailhouse. The sheriff sweeping up the remains of what looked to be a mug he had thrown. Andreas, of course, waiting outside as you guys will be doing most of the talking. And he looks to you and just goes, "What the hell you want? I already had that one doctor fella come in here trying to talk to me about something I don't want to talk about. What's going on here? Why y'all back? Did you find anything out?"
We want to take Eris with us.
You see he was drinking. He goes, "Pfft, what? Now I got water all over my damn papers. Why do you want to take that crazy one out of here?"
Because I don't think she deserves to be in jail, and there's other places that she can live where she can be who she wants without being in jail. And then you don't have to worry about her. You don't even have to sit there and feed her. She's gone.
He
Can even make sure that she doesn't come back to this town again.
He twiddles his shitty mustache. And he goes, "Oh, you probably got yourself an idea there. I don't like dealing with her, and if she was gone, it would be one less thing for me to worry with, especially dealing with all this morality police nonsense." He goes, "Alright, where you gonna be taking her?"
Does it matter? As long as she's not in your hair.
"I guess not, and you seem to be relatively strong and willpower individual, so I guess you won't be tempted to just let her go once you're outside my doors. So I don't see why not that I shouldn't just let her leave. There ain't nothing much else going on." And
Cool.
so he grabs the keys off the desk and walks back to Eris's cell, walking past a few people, and opens up her door. Oh, that is a large image. That is not as big as it's supposed to be. Well, it's been tested. He walks by. He starts to unlock Eris's cell, undoing the multiple locks and opening the door. And she seems to be pleased to see all of you. And then also seems confused over why he's opening the door. But she doesn't seem to really question much as she just goes about her time walking out of this jail cell into your care. And simply looks and goes, "Where are we going?"
Come on, friend.
Nah.
From here.
She nods in agreement and follows you guys out as you see the sheriff lock the door to the cell, let out a hearty spittoon clink as he fires quite thoroughly across the hallway with a nice loogie. And you continue outside of the jailhouse, where you're standing outside of it, as he goes, "Now y'all don't come back here now no more, alright?" Nah,
Don't worry, we're gonna keep Nosh's hand tied to his waist for a while longer.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that wholeheartedly, as he closed the door to the jailhouse behind you. And you are now standing outside.
Oh, maybe let's go out of here.
All right.
Portal again.
Well, real quick with Barbados is still outside, right?
Yeah, he's still there. Andreas is standing outside the door.
Yeah. So we can let Eris get her explanation before we go back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andreas, seeing Eris, apologizes for her finding herself in jail. That's not something he had wished upon her. Where, as he's trying to explain, she gives him a good slap across the face. As he just kind of grabs his jaw and nods. I deserve that. He apologizes thoroughly to Eris and essentially explains in short words what he was doing and that she was correct to doubt his good intentions, but that he wishes no ill will or harm to anyone here. He has simply been trying to help those who cannot help themselves and being a senseless individual of trying his best to give something back to a community. She seems content with the answer, knowing that 1, she was correct, and 2, she has had closure in this situation. And feeling that he has explained everything he can, he simply looks at her and goes, "I hope you can forgive me for getting you into this position, but I must return to my duties, and I hope you find peace and tolerance wherever you go." And you see Andreas turn on his heel and walk back to Heaven's Gate. And you all find yourself standing there with Eris next to you, seeming happy for what, to 1, be out of the cell, 2, to have closure and know that at least, though she was skeptical, that she was right and that it is nothing malicious.
Well, if you're out of jail, how about you come back with us to the keep and get a nice meal?
She nods and appreciates the offer and asks, as long as it's better than here, she'd be happy to go.
Well, I definitely think it's better than here. And, you know, if you don't have anywhere else to go, you can always stay at the keep for a while until you figure things out.
She agrees, and that it would definitely be better than staying here and dealing with all this, and just to simply make your way to a better place, or at least a place that is just nicer for those who are like her.
Yep, I think she'll fit right in.
Alright.
All right, so Mandy,
Is
do
Rachel
you summon the
still
door?
holding the... Yes,
All right.
I do.
So, Mandy, you summon the door up, and the door appears in front of you. Her eyes go wide with the magic that occurs. As though she has some experience with the arcane herself, this is well beyond what she can imagine. And as the door appears and becomes a solid form, you simply open it and step through. As all of you step through with Eris in tow, the door closing behind you, as you hear Thurlby yell from the back, "Don't within a draft, you fucking heathens!" The door simply closes, and the bracelet collapses and returns to your wrist, Mandy.
Cool beans. I like this, guys. This is a great bracelet. I love it.
As you guys step through, you guys find a spot for Eris to sleep, an extra room that is there. She explains that her training in what medical that she knows, as well as her abilities of being a minor sorcerer and a minor bard, gives her the ability to help where needed, whether it's with anything to do with running the bar in the keep or otherwise. And so she finds herself as a nice addition to the bar staff, as well as to helping out with medical needs, with whatever advice that she's able to procure. And so you finish the side quest of the moral conflict. And as you stand in the keep, basically recovering yourselves and ready to go forth and do something else, you see that Thurlby is putting up a few more bounty papers on the board for you to look at, news that he's heard, things that he has been told. And as you all stand in the keep, you hear aggressive knocking. You hear aggressive knocking at the door to the keep.
Kind of be like, oh, we got this, and wander over.
I'll
You
walk
s-
with Cobra.
You see that the knocking becomes more aggressive as you get closer.
I'll be with them.
As I walk up to the door, I'll shout, wait, hold your horses, we're coming. Suppose it's not really
So you get close to the door as the knocking becomes more aggressive. As you go to open the door, you come across what looks to be 3 Goliaths. All seeming to be in patchwork armor and leather-clad pieces, holding another Goliath who seems to be severely injured.
Oh, shit. What happened to him?
They simply look at you and don't say anything as they bring their compatriot in, laying him in the middle of the foyer, essentially asking for help, trying to heal him, as their common is not very good. Their English essentially is very broken, and that's what you get from it. Essentially, they're looking for help. They're looking for the bare-skinned.
I run over and cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on him.
All right.
I would kind of go over to them and ask them what ended up happening and why they're looking for me.
So, they see you cure wounds on the wounded soldier, and he seems to kind of come back to a little bit, the bleeding stopping, the wound starting to close as you work diligently to keep him from bleeding it on the floor. And Tovar, as you step closer, you recognize the markings on their patchwork armor and the leather pieces they carry on their shoulders. You recognize it as the mark of your clan.
Kind of start talking to them, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Like, you know, just basically figuring out what happened.
So they
I'm
explain to
assuming
you.
they're speaking in giant.
Yes, as you speak to
Okay.
them, they are speaking to you in essentially half giant. Basically, a type of language used by most Goliaths, where it is a derivative of the original giant language that you can pick up relatively easily. And so you speak with them, and they basically tell you that they came looking. They've been looking for many, many weeks to find the bearskin one, as they were sent by the Jarl of the clan to essentially come find someone who can assist them. They believe that if they were able to find someone who was of strong enough or close enough in strength to the bearskin one, that they would be beneficial. But in this sense, is that they found you, which is who they were actually looking for. They tell you that the home is become under siege, that something has changed the dynamic of the lands that your clan once lived on. Where before you had an understanding with the frost giants, as well as the other individuals and clans that lived there, as well as the wildlife that existed, it seems now something has changed their viewpoint, and the frost giants have begun to besiege your old clan's homeland.
At this point, I would relay the information to the rest of the party. Kind of tell them that you know, if my clan needs me, that you know, I'm gonna go.
Overall, it's been a cracked knuckles today, and it's not going to be alone.
Yep, we go in a group now.
Alright, well, y'all have fun. Aw, shit. Did you guys actually want me to come? Damn it. Okay, well, I guess I'm coming.
None of you guys have to actually come. This isn't your quarrel.
I have to show you that I like you.
Talking about family.
You trusted us with your last name. Now we're all together.
We are family.
So you all decide that you are going to travel to the northeastern lands to assist Tovar in this mission of essentially saving what he can. The stories he gets from the soldiers is that the land is holding, the clan is holding, but losses have become rampant on both sides. As they have tried their best to make sure that everything can be taken care of, but the giants are large and intimidating and strong, and will overpower even the best Goliath fighter. So they came looking for the Berserker Black Marsh, which just so happened to be the bearskin one, as they had been told. And so the injured soldier is pulled towards the infirmary in the keep, laid on a cot with his compatriots next to him as you guys think about your next plan. thoroughly talks to you about the other bounties that have been put up. Of that, he speaks of that there has been words of mercenaries coming around McCrag lately, and not the ones you would like to tussle with on the end-all be-all. They seem to be looking for a specific individual that they are willing not to give up the information. They speak another of a couple of stories that he's heard, the scuttlebutt, the bounties that has come up, is that there is words of a large undertaking being done by gnomes on the eastern side of the region, near Golden Fields, where something being named the Albatross has begun to take flight. Whether it is a device of gnomish invention or otherwise is unnamed in the stories, and something to investigate would be a great idea. They speak about how another bounty is that a door in Delta's Anchor in the southern region of Etheria, that a building that was once thought derelict has been making very strange noises as of late, as if there have been steps and voices and tales being spoke through its walls. Those who step through its front door are not seen, are not seen again for what it seems, or when they do come back, they look like they have aged many, many years. And this is being named the Door to Nothingness. And they wish to have someone come investigate it for which ends or another. And so that is down here in Delta's Anchor. And finally, there has been words of a large massing of military forces near Broken Earth, which is the large farmlands, essentially farming colony, east of Delta's Anchor, where large forces of gnolls, humans, and Dragar have been seen forming near the northeastern side of the city, looking to besiege it, looking to take what they can. And so assistance, of course, has been asked by those of willing power and fight to help as best they can. And as you look over the bounties, Fausta enters the room and speaks to you that he believes he has found the next location of the artifacts that you seek. He believes that he has found the location of the soldier's sword. He says that it is near the Setlands, which are in the southwestern approach of Etheria. He believes that from what it says is that the sword was buried near the towns during one of the original conflicts before the Setlands split into the northern and southern cities. So to find the next artifact, you would go there. And he believes that it is most likely guarded by something, or will be at least difficult to find, as the towns have been split for many years. But he at least now has a location nailed down of where the next artifact will be. And so that's what you currently have on your table to complete. Is you have the warband to the north in the snow-capped mountains of the Death Fields, to be helped by Tovar and his family. The mercenary hunters moving around McCrag, looking for an individual of note that they are not willing to release information on. The soldier's sword being found, or at least estimated to be, between the Setlands themselves. The fly of the Albatross near Golden Fields. The Door to Nothingness in Delta's Anchor. And of course, the potential siege of Broken Earth, which would choke off a large supply of food sources and materials to both the Crucible, Albion, and Delta's Anchor, as well as other linchpin towns in between, including a keep well known by the paladin in your group, Farreach.
mine is in the northeast, correct?
Yours is to the north past the map boundary, because you're in essentially what's known as the Deathlands. It is a frozen, mountainous landscape.
And Golden Fields up here.
Golden Fields.
Yes.
So,
So let me put markers down. I'll just put the little money pouches where the quests are. And of course, we'll just put it here on these ruins. Yep, the sword is over yonder.
And then back to main story for that one.
so okay. So first off, welcome back, Mandy.
Hi.
Travis says hi.
Oh, it's not.
Hey, Travis.
How's it going? It's going.
All right,
Hey.
so that is what's on your board. So whoever.
I'm sorry, I put it in. Because I.
So you guys are currently in Macragge. The entrance to the Deathlands is up here. And of course you have the Gnomish Invention, the Siege, the Door, and the Sword. I will highlight this one as light blue as it is going back into the main story quest. The rest of these are side quests.
So
Do we want to hit the one up top and then around from right to left? Or
that's what I was kind of thinking of, to where like we can take care of this fucking one in Macragge first, since we're already fucking here.
we don't have one in the crack, right? I thought that was.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
the mercenaries.
That one, out of character, I would wait on to have Nosh here, as he will
Okay.
have something to do with it.
That's what I kind of figured it was gonna be a Nosh one.
so that one.
Do that one whenever he's here, whenever down the line.
I thought he was supposed to fucking be here by now. Fucking.
It's
They have to
potatoes.
stop for food.
It's potatoes. So basically, whichever one you guys want to choose to do with first is fine. So it's just up to what you would like to do.
Do we still have that other quest from before with the Trents? Down by the Setlands?
The trance. Oh, that's right. It's Oh, I'm trying to see if I have that. Where is it? It should be on my list. Was it not on my list? Merchant. No. Oh, there was that one. I don't have that one written down. I do have one written down. That there is another mission you guys could do that is in Macragge, which is an escort mission. The letter you guys find is that it is a merchant asking for escort to Golden Fields, and that a monster has been following him and would soon besiege a town that he's looking to deliver to, specifically between Golden Fields and one of the linchpins.
I mean, if we did the escort, we could do the one in Golden Fields.
and then we can go from there. If that is what people would want.
It's what does not time sensitive. Also, kids.
The army shit up top.
Yeah.
And probably the siege at the bottom too.
The only thing I can think of is, and I know everybody fucking says don't do this, but is splitting the party to where like a smaller group does the escort over to Golden Fields, to where maybe a bigger group goes up top to start with that, and then we can knock out those two things at once. Maybe have like soldiers go with the smaller group to the Golden Fields, but I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
So, to give you guys a little bit more context, is that the Hunters and the Deathlands quests, you'll basically will have to finish them before you can do anything else. So if you go and do the Deathlands with Tovar's clan, you guys will be in the Deathlands until the quest is complete, and then you will return back to here. Same thing with the Hunter's quest. The Hunter's quest will take you guys to a different area. You'll be in that area until you are done, and then you will return. You don't know that in character, but out of character to help you kind of make a decision on how you want to tackle it. So basically, the escort is just a regular side quest. Same thing with the door, the siege, and the gnomish invention. But the Hunters and the Deathlands are basically things that will take you out of the region that you can guesstimate, and will take some time to complete.
So is the Hunters one the escort mission that we have down here in McCrack?
No, the Hunters is the mercenary mission. The escort is the escort mission.
Oh, okay. So fucking like either mine or Nash's mission, both of them takes us out.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm debating right now, like in my head, trying to figure out like what I think is probably the better option.
Because I mean, are any of them like out of character? Or any of them like? I know they're like time sensitive, but like, are they like? If we wait too long on one,
So
like,
if you wait a significant amount of time, you imagine some of them will no longer be available to you. But the two that are purple highlighted and the one that is blue highlighted will not expire, quote unquote.
Okay.
The others would, because you essentially would lose the time frame to actually go and do the context of it.
Do the escort to the Golden Fields, the siege, the door.
yeah, I mean that's fine with me.
And it's as the information you pulled from the soldiers who came in, the Goliath soldiers, is that though the clan lands is under attack, it's not that they're going to lose the fight anytime soon, and it would take you time to get there regardless. It's not exactly an easy trek.
Yeah. So they're just trying to reach out for help before it's too late.
Basically.
Okay.
They came down looking for help because they heard that there were adventurers who had been gaining reputation and had seemed to be stronger than others, and it just so happened that you are those adventurers. So they're like, we did it, and much better than we thought.
Yeah.
Wow. You're so smart.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to do the escort one over to Golden Fields.
Yeah.
Aye.
Let's go.
All right. So, you guys will take on the escort mission, and so you think to yourselves of what's going to be the best to kind of try and help you get to the number of things as best as quickly as possible. As all of them seem very good, some of them pay well, as you would imagine, going through it, and so you imagine that the escort getting you across the region is going to help regardless. And so, reading the letter for the escort, you find the person you're looking for. It is a merchant who is currently sitting in the mess hall, as he seems to be joined by a couple of other individuals that are going with him that almost look to be to the terms of Sherpas, as they seem to be guides through the area themselves.
What?
He seems sitting at the table, eating a very small meal as he sees all of you approach. And he looks to you and goes, "No, I'm not selling anything right now. Thank you for coming in to see me, but right now my shop is closed. I'm waiting to see if I will have help getting to Golden Fields."
It's kind of why we're here, bud.
Oh, well, I didn't notice it was you who were coming over to see me. Yeah, it's, I imagine that you got the letter and you're here to help, yes?
Yep. And we were gonna be going over, so we figured we could get you along too.
Amazing. Wonderful. So the only thing that I know of is that you just need to escort me, my ox, and the wagon that carries all of my goods, along with these two guides, basically from here in McCrag to Golden Fields, taking the northern route. I know currently that due to your actions that the Blair Shore and path to the Black Marsh Keep should be good for us to travel with no real issues. God's willing, nothing pulls its head aside to cause a problem. But once we get past the Black Marsh Keep, I imagine there will be trouble, including if she shows up to hunt us again.
Who is she?
You see him shudder and pause for a moment. He goes, "The gray striped monster, Monica."
Monica?
No, that is not her true name. That is just the name that we gave her, as the first person that it killed when it arrived, unfortunately, was named her and seemed to take on her voice. So we've been running from it ever since. It's unfortunately been terrible for business, as wherever we set up, she seems to follow. Unfortunately, it seems that she has taken a different directive and has looked and set her sights upon the Golden Fields as the next spot for her feedings. We're not sure if that's because she's waiting for us or that she believes we're already there, as we narrowly escaped her last time. But I imagine that it is unpleasant. But she needs to feed to live. She takes individuals back to her nest, and it's unpleasant, the sounds that have erupted from those places.
What kind of fucking hunter is this?
It is unfortunately a monster of great degrees of fear and evolution taking its toll. It has been bred for this, or from what we can gather, as it's very hard to get away from. So hopefully with your help we will get there in one piece and hopefully kill the monster.
We should be able to kill that monster. Don't you think, Tovar?
Yeah,
Wait, what-
Tovar. You think you can kill a monster?
What kind of monster is it?
We've only seen glimpses of it a few times as it's popped out of the shadows to steal another person away into the darkness. But it just seems to be a large biped with claws and teeth and sounds that haunt the dreams of men. It's unpleasant. I wish I could give you more information or a better description of what you'd be fighting, but unfortunately we've tried not to stay too long to see what it is, as we would be afraid that she would murder us where we stood.
Would I be able to use that description to roll a religion check to see if it's okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
14.
So with that 14, you're able to discern that it may be a demon from what it sounds like. You're not entirely sure, as it just seems difficult to pin down what it is. The description is vague. You can think of a lot of things that are bipedal and seem to hunt within the darkness.
Do they have anything like a scrap of hair or something that they've seen come off of her?
We did not wish to get close enough to take any kind of proof of her existence. It was something that we'd wish to not be close to, as it was a terrifying aspect to get away from it in the first place. It's still amazing that we did.
You said it stole its first victim's voice?
Yes, she was taken in the night, and one of our other soldiers who was there to help us thought he heard her voice in the distance. When he went to look for her, he never came back. And then when he never returned, we then heard his voice echo through the woodlines as we trekked across the great lands.
Sure, it's not them.
By the fact that they did not come back and that they're speaking to us, we did not wish to test our luck by trying to find this monster.
Sounds like a challenge.
And we all know Tovar likes a challenge.
Anyways, if you do wish to assist, then we will not stop you. Just try to give you as much information as we can. But
Okay.
alright. Well, in that case, I'd imagine just make sure that we are all ready to go, and I guess we'll step off.
Alright. Let's get it.
Quick question, Burn. You saw my thing, yeah?
Yes. So you wish to talk to thoroughly about the
Yeah.
ring that you found?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't know if you ended up getting the actual stats and shit for it in the game yet or not.
No, but for yours it's relatively simple. So you go to Thurlby to ask about the ring. And he looks at it and goes, "Ah, I haven't seen one of those. Where'd you find it?"
in your
Apparently, Nosh
pants.
stole it.
Ah, that makes sense for a man of his caliber to have stole this. I imagine, have you figured out how it works, or I guess you wouldn't have come talk to me if you knew how it works, would you?
Yeah, no idea.
And so he picks up and fiddles with it as he looks over it. And he goes, "Ah, I believe I figured out what it does." And he goes, "You'll have to wait for nightfall, and I believe that's only when it will work. But it seems that it will open up your eyes, so to speak, when the twilight comes." That's about all I know. It's you'll have to tell me the effects of it, and see what it actually does for you. But that's what I have based off the magics on it. It's very vague in the arcane that is placed upon this ring, but it just simply puts out the idea that your eyes will open when the twilight falls.
Although I believe come along to get his ring equipped as well.
Yes. Ah, what a large signet ring you found, Coverall.
It's also courtesy of Nosh.
Ah, that man has the stickiest of fingers I've ever seen. That's why I put this fence on the front of my shop.
Yeah.
And he picks up and he looks it over, looking at the words, the embellishes on it, the marks left over from past wearers. And he goes, "Ah, you seem to have found yourself a fun one. This is the Ring of the Nemesis. Again, unfortunately, the arcane is very vague of the effects of it, but it seems that you should be wary of what you kill." And much like I told the large one, when you figure out what it does verbatim, please bring it back so I can document it, in case you find other things that are relatively close in its magical essence. Ah, yes.
Yeah, coverall, just like the large one. Is that a fat joke? You just call Tobar fat?
Why would I make a joke about his fat percentage? What am I, some kind of narrow-minded plebeian?
Yes.
Ah! You wound me! Wounded! As he turns around, he goes back to work on his bench. He goes, "The audacity! The wound!"
Maximus just like throwing his head back every time.
Yes, it is very dramatic. As you all kind of pull yourselves away and making sure everything is checked out and ready to go before you step away, you still hear from the back of the shop, you can see the shape of Thurby throwing his head back going, "The audacity of the wounding maiden! My heart, my bleeding soul! Curse my eyes!"
I like him. So much.
He goes, "Let me tell you the story." As like his voice fades out, if you listen closely, you hear as he speaks to someone who has begun working in a shop. He goes, "Have I ever told you the story of?" Oh, I gotta center myself. I told you the story of the lion, the witch, and the audacity of that bitch. It's a great story, I'll have to tell you. There's this lion who thought he was a god. There's this witch who wanted to kill everyone and froze people into statues. There was a fucking closet. And now the wounds. Ah! And you all just kind of meander back out into the foyer as you have prepared yourself to leave, as the merchant has gathered his stuff and he has hooked his ox to the cart outside, as your carriage has been brought back by some interesting means, and you guys are ready to go.
Wow, thank you, Salty, for the raid.
Raid.
That's
Shadow
so sweet of
Legends.
you. What were you playing? Tell me all about it.
My OBS just decided to fucking shit out of me.
Oof. Big oofs. But you guys begin on your trek across the region. And your first part's relatively easy. You travel through Blair Shore, where the cemetery no longer has a ghoul infestation, and everything seems to be shipshape. It seems that they have placed the body of the zombie beholder on a pike near the graves as a sign of disrespect to the undead that once roamed there, and to may have them run in fear if they ever come back out to taunt the living. The nacho cheese still stays in dispensers, the fryers bolted to the floor, safety regulations galore, but all for good measure and good fun. As you enter into Black Marsh Keep, you see that it has a larger population than when it was the last time you were there. It seems that it is now slightly more thriving, as the soldiers that were brought by Fausta to save you from the old keep have now taken, not refuge, but have taken residence in Black Marsh Keep, along with many of the other citizens that have traveled the road, picking up services such as blacksmithing, armoring, and weapons making, along with with the chief engineer at the helm once again, working on establishing infrastructure, fixing the roads and buildings, as well as creating better armaments to protect the northern side of the keep from the monsters that lurk within the Black Marsh. And you come across the bridge, leading you to your unexplored region, with a small town sits in front of you. You find yourself here. You see, the town ahead of you seems to be of a decent size, being a stop between one of the larger road passes and golden fields. Night begins to fall as you pass into this town. No one truly batting an eye at your approach. Seeing that you are escorting another carriage, that they seem to stay out of your way for the most part. As you find yourself the inn in the center of the town, the barkeep greeting you as if you've been there before. Your carriage is parked outside as the merchant locks up his belongings, tying his ox to the post and then stepping inside the building himself with his two guides that still seem to follow him very closely. And you all stay within the inn for a moment, as you are now faced with a choice of, do you continue to travel during the night hours, or do you happen to take a rest, recharge your batteries, so to speak, before heading back out?
This
Hey,
might not
Tovar.
be a-
He's listening on mobile.
Oh, he's listening.
Yeah.
Damn it. I was gonna say, come on, let's see what the ring does. Start.
Cactus. Cactus.
Hi, Cactus, you gorgeous bean. My new favorite person.
It's the bunny
Exactly
man.
why he's my favorite person. Oh, I'm sorry, Travis. I'll be quieter from now on. Good lord.
So Fenny and Tover, you guys want to see what the ring does now that night has fallen? So, Tovar, since you're not here to tell me yes or no, and I imagine that's what you're going to do regardless, uh, with the ring on your finger,
Damn,
as
please take it out of your hands.
well, it's because he messaged me in the screen, so I saw his response anyways. Uh, so you essentially have the ring on your finger, and you see the eyes begin to glow as night begins to fall. And you see that your sight starts to change a little bit. Everything seems to start looking in different colors than you're used to.
Yes,
Not
ma'am,
colors
dear.
of objects, but colors that seem to surround people. You start to see through people, in a sense, where your sight now seems to become that of looking between the realms or between the layers of the world around you as you begin to experience for the first time in your life the idea of true sight. And so you see those who are faking smiles. You see their true emotions behind it. You see the colors of people's auras, the idea to see their motivations. You see through certain things as you peer through certain ales. You can see what the purities are. It almost lets you look beyond what's in front of you. But the other part of it is that you see that in the tavern itself, you see that it is much more full than it was before when you got there. You can see that there are a number of shapes in the bar, in the tavern, that were not there when you first walked in. That they seem to be of a different plane, almost like distorted shadows walking through. You catch the shapes of a few, and you can clearly see that they are possibly spirits, or ghosts, if you will, of people long past. You see that there are some ideas of what look to be bright silhouettes walking through that you can imagine are the ideas of celestials being within this realm, but outside of mortal eyes. Those distorted shadows you can assume are demons in the same idea, as that they walk in the parallel plane of the abyssal realm, simply walking through, passing through your world much like you'd pass through a fog, unknowing of what's around them, but feeling as if someone is watching them. And all of this sight becomes overwhelming as you begin to see further and further into the layers, almost pulling things apart with your sight. And in a hesitant reaction, you touch the eyes on the ring, and your eyesight returns to normal. And you believe that if you ever wish to do this again, you have to wait for the eyes to glow once the twilight falls, and simply touching the gems that have been inlaid would open your eyes to the world beyond worlds and the layers upon layers that stand in front of you. To what extent can you use this power? You're not entirely sure, but it is now an option at your feet. And so now it comes back to the question at hand.
Alright. Do we want to stay the night, or do we want to continue traveling?
Well, I was gonna say this might be the perfect opportunity to set up a trap.
Because what?
Tovar does say that, guys, what the fuck? I just saw a bunch of shadows and bright lights. Help.
I mean, we're just gonna brush this off as one of his hallucinations again, so.
Well, I know that I was there when he was having the ring strike, right?
Yes.
So I feel like, is this the sight, like opening your eyes that Roby was talking about? Perhaps with the ring?
If he was here to answer, he'd probably say yes. That's what he assumes.
Gonna need to figure out a good use for that.
You are correct, sir.
Good God. Do you need to go get a cough drop?
I don't fucking know. I'm drinking mead, so it's got honey in there. Does that count?
It's got
No.
honey in there. So he's like, oh, fuck you, cactus. Stop.
Ugh.
Bastards.
Cactus and I just banged you? Nice.
Can't have anything nice. My own mods are bullying me now.
I don't know what the fuck you expect. You saw how Mandy is to me in my fucking stream.
Oh, I knew what I was getting into when I started this campaign with
Accurate.
all of you. I knew exactly what I was walking into.
Anyway,
I've got 2K.
I got 2,000 points. I could make it so much worse. I'm not asking you to make it worse. I'm just asking you to just let me get my narration out. Oh man. Oh god. So. Oh sweet jeez. Sweet jeez.
I was just taunting Cactus, honestly. Oh.
Oh no. Jesus Mary.
Really?
Oh god, and that's it. I need the bonk sound. I need to pull the bonk sound alert down because I need to start using that quite often. All right, so it's basically the choice of you guys can either stay here the night, or you can continue pushing.
And so, to go back to it, Mandy, what's your trap idea?
I didn't really have an idea. I just figured we would kind of have someone stay up and wait until, or we could have a couple of people stay up and we'll wait until we see a thing, until we see the monster. There we go. Words are hard.
So
And
is it safe to say that that one fucking ring only works like once a night?
No, it just works only at night. Like you can essentially turn it on and off, but it only works at night.
Okay.
So basically on and off just by touching the eyes.
Yeah, basically.
so I didn't really have a thought for the trap. I just,
You said you
It's
just want to
like-
have someone stand watch.
well, I think it would be a good idea to kind of set a trap and have someone stay up and watch and stuff.
There's what, fucking 6 of us in the party technically, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
technically.
Nosh fucking joins us.
Whenever he shows up, yes.
Yeah, we could probably run 2s if you guys are good with that.
Or better yet, guys, since Nosh is so gung-ho on sleeping through all of this, why don't we make it look like he's the guy that this monster wants?
The merchant?
Uh-huh.
Or Nosh the bait.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
How about we don't volunteer a PC to be bait if they're not here to either agree or disagree with it?
Oh, I was kidding.
Oh, no, you weren't. Don't lie to me.
I was kidding.
I get
I
nat
would never
20s on my
actually let
insight,
him.
Mandy.
He normally fucking agrees with our
I
fucking plans.
I know he does. I just want him to answer if he wishes to be bait or not before you put him in the bait circle.
Alright, hold on.
Oh, jeez.
He's gonna message him.
Hey, we want you to be bait. Are you cool with it? Just like, oh. No.
I mean, I'll volunteer for first watch.
I can be. Oh, should I watch with you, or should Mandy, because she can do cast without roll?
Or
I have
the one who can see different planes.
I have a Mask of Wild, so I can actually like hide to or stealth. What was it? I'm already forgetting what it does completely. You can attempt to hide even when you are only lightly obscured.
I mean, you guys are also going to be, like, sitting probably outside the tavern, literally watching for shit, because you're on guard duty, essentially. There's not, like, a whole lot of brush you can jump into. It's not like you're in the middle of a campsite where you're like, I'm going to go hide in a hole. I'm going to go in my foxhole. You're literally going to be probably sitting in a chair outside the bar.
Well, it's up to you. Do you want me to take first watch with you? I mean, I only need 4 hours of sleep. Well, I trance for 4 hours and get like a long rest in. So.
And that's like what, the elf thing? So
Yeah,
that's
it's the elf
same
thing.
for me then.
Yeah. So
maybe have the elves on separate shifts.
yeah, I was gonna say, why don't we have, if you want to take first, if Finny wants to take first, he can take it with somebody else, and then I will take second.
With somebody else.
That made sense, right? Like, he does 4 hours, and he could do, like, with 2 different people. And then I do 4 hours with 2 different people.
And yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
The math checks out.
I can.
The math is mathing.
The math is mathing.
I mean, for me, like, the only thing I need to do long rest for is raging. And I still have 2 more.
Oh, I do need to do a long rest to get my spell slot back, don't I?
Yeah, so we can.
Spell slot?
Yes.
We can let Coverall fucking rest. I'll take first watch with fucking Fanny Boy. And then let Mandy get in her fucking short rest.
What short rest?
Your short rest / long rest.
Okay.
Your 4-hour power nap.
My 4-hour trance, thank you very much.
Power nap. It's an elf thing. You wouldn't understand.
It's
Okay.
Still comatose for a couple of hours.
Yeah, so basically whoever's on first watch, so I imagine be Tovar and Finrod. You guys stage yourself outside the tavern, basically putting eyes downrange on what you see. Make sure if anything silly pops up or anything that is a danger, that you alert those inside. And so, as you guys sit outside, it is a brisk night with the wind whipping through the town at a relatively good pace. Nothing of major note coming through and causing a commotion. But as you both sit there, listening intently, watching and talking, playing cards and drinking, all of a sudden, you hear a voice. You hear a woman's voice from across the way, basically yelling for help, that she's being attacked.
You want me to go check on that, Tovar? Will you stay here?
Either way. You want to go, you can. Just let me know if you need backup.
Yeah, I'll yell for you if I need backup.
Sounds good.
So, I'm gonna go across the way. Because this is still in town, right?
Yep, you're basically, it's like the alleyway across from you, essentially.
Alright.
So yeah, so you essentially step across the street, going to the alleyway across where you've heard the voice coming through. And as you step into the mouth of it, you can't make out where the voice came from. You know it came from probably further down, but you can't see who it came from, to be specific. But as you step into the mouth of it, you hear again that same female voice yelling, "Help, help, I'm under attack," or "I'm being attacked," from further down the alleyway.
But yet I can't see even like somewhat of an outline with the dark vision. Or
It's,
is it
you
too
imagine
dark to
they're
see that
around the
far?
corner. They're not in the alley. You imagine that they're around the corner at the end of it, behind one of the buildings. You can see fine with your dark vision. It's just that you can't see where the voice is coming from, so you imagine it's behind one of the buildings.
I'm just thinking here.
Maybe shout for Tovar to fucking come check it out with fucking True Sight.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, hey Tovar, it seems like it's farther down from my sight to see. Can you try that ring out to see? Because it seems like it's behind the building, to see if you see anything funky.
Yeah, that sounds good. Fucking feels like a terrible hangover, but we'll give it a shot.
Oh, help, I'm being repressed.
Because I was like thinking, I'm like, because they heard a voice calling out, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it just down the alleyway.
So yeah, I'd run up to him and fucking activate the ring.
So you activate the ring, and unfortunately with True Sight, is it doesn't necessarily help you with seeing things in low light, but your dark vision makes up for that. So as the vision activates, you can see this alley has a number of interferences in it, almost like a darkened fog that you can barely see through that goes down. You do happen to see the ripples of the sound waves coming through. You seem to sense the direction, and based off the sight of it, is you imagine that it is behind the building to the left. You can't see anything quite authentic as True Sight, though it does pull apart the layers of what you see in front of you. It is not X-ray vision, and will not let you see through the building directly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can kind of just tell, where it's at, but apparently I can't tell what the fuck it is.
So it is back around the building, though?
Yes.
Well, probably should still go check it.
Well, I'm down to go fuck around and find out if you are.
Yeah, let's go. Two people are probably better than one for this situation.
Yeah.
So you move down the alleyway, scooching yourself around containers filled with rubbish and debris. As you make your way to the corner, you poke your heads around, and you see that there is something on the ground where the voice was coming from. The body of somebody lays on the ground.
What's up?
Now, because I'm looking up what defines true sight in 5e,
Mm-hmm.
and it says that I'll detect like visual illusions and fucking perceives the original form of shapeshifters and shit like that.
Yeah.
Am I able to fucking see like an illusion or anything in front of me?
Yeah, you'd be able to see through it, and you see there's no illusion here. You see that there is a body on the ground.
Alright. So I would relay that information to Finrod. Just be like, Finny, the fucking, that's for real. Oh,
Should we
it
pick
looks
the
like a
body up
dead
and bring
body.
it out? Or tell the guards that we found a body in the alleyway that we heard screaming for help?
Yeah, probably.
But I'm
Should
guessing
we-
this might have something to do with that monster.
Yeah, possibly.
So you guys basically have a plan to go tell the guards of the town that you found a body. And as you guys are looking at that, Mandy, you're awoken by sounds of something in the rooms. In the suite the rooms are connected to, essentially. Something falls
but
over
not
and hits
yet.
the ground.
I would just wipe drool off my mouth. What happened? What?
So in the central room that connects all of the smaller rooms together, you heard something get knocked over and fall and hit the floor.
Do I see what it is?
Your door is closed.
Okay, well, do I have anyone in the room with me?
You see that Kovral is next to you. He's in a cot on the other side of the room. As these are smaller and makeshift bunkhouses, he is snoozing away.
Perfect, I smack him awake.
Yeah. Oh. What's that for?
I heard something fall in the room next door. Let's go.
Alright. Get my mace on my shoulder and get up.
Kovral fully dressed for combat as he wakes up. Just like, let me get my home defense mace and go see what that noise was. In full plate armor, just like gets out of the cot, just like creaks it. Just,
Oh, I should get home defense mace.
So you guys walk up to the door, entering into the suite. And as you guys go to open the door, you hear a voice you recognize. It's Tovar's voice. Go. Well, I'm gonna try and mimic it the best I can. Don't judge me. Ha ha ha, I'm Tovar. Didn't mean to wake you up. I knocked a vase with my giant Etheria's ass. Apologies, go back to bed.
This motherfucker.
Can I roll
Inside.
insight?
Sure. I mean, compared to past my acting, it sounds pretty convincing to your ears and character.
Wow. Fucking. I just go straight back to bed because I'm like, yep, that is a nat 1.
Oof, yeah.
100% is Tovar. Straight back to
So,
bed for me.
Mandy got a nat 1. What'd you get, Coverall?
Would I have been able to roll perception, or would it be in insight?
I mean, you can easily hear it, but with the door closed, it's more of you're trying to insight if it's him or not.
Oh, okay. I got a 13, sorry.
Alright, so you're both listening. Mandy is immediately convinced that that's Tovar. There's nothing to worry about. So she starts making her way back to the bed. She kind of shrugs at it and goes back to her cot. You are kind of on the fence about it because you're like, wasn't he supposed to be outside on guard duty? Why is he back in here? So you're suspicious of it, but between the two of you, I mean, what are you gonna do about it?
Well, overall would be like, hey, Monty, he's supposed to be outside. Sure, that's him. The thing can mimic voices, right?
I mean, it sounded just as dumb as him, so it's gotta be him, right?
The fucking disrespect.
This time, Salty gets to use hashtag disrespect.
It's good that imitating voices would not just be a little more convincing.
I mean, that's true, I guess.
We're supposed to be
Although-
guarding this guy, so it would be good to
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. I guess if you want to double check, we can go double check.
I think that's probably a good idea. And then I will cast Shield of Faith on Mandy quickly, just in case. So she gets +2 AC bonus for 10 minutes.
Alright.
As long as my concentration doesn't break.
Woohoo!
So, you guys step out of the room, you open it, and you see that it looks like some of the books had fallen out of a bookshelf across the suite near one of the other rooms. You can see that the door to the room across the way is open. From what you remember, is that no one was sleeping in that room, as you all doubled and tripled up because you were going to have 2 people out on guard duty. And numbers is better than no numbers. And so that door being open is strange.
Your face is strange.
Thanks.
I'm
there's a
gonna
Nosh.
go check. Because
Yeah, I just got here. I've just been sitting in the back of the rest of the weekend.
Hey.
Yeah.
Howdy, howdy.
oh, welcome in, Nosh.
So,
Howdy.
Coverall, you go to check with your home defense mace. And you go up to the open door. You see that there, as you feel the doorknob, your dark vision kind of giving you a little bit of view into the door, or into the doorway. You see that there's some strange marks around the doorknob. Almost something was trying to open it, and then got it open, hence why the door is open. But inside, you don't see anything.
Like, sorry, did you say the window was open or anything?
No. The window's still closed. Door's open.
Just the door.
Can I roll perception to see if I see any, like, claw marks or anything?
But of course.
Nat 20.
You fucking son of a bitch.
Hey.
It had a 25. And the only way you could have beaten it was to do that. Great. Wonderful.
Good shit.
So, you enter the room. and you start looking because you, in your dwarf brain, are like, the window's not open, nothing ran past me, so if it's in here still, it has to be in here. And so you start looking, and the rooms are set up with a small hallway about 6 feet long that has a little closet that then opens up into the rooms. It seems to be something along the line of a modified master bedroom for each of these. And so as you come up around the corner and you turn your head to the left to scan the left part of the empty bunk room, you come face to face with this skull demon staring back at you, just 6 inches from the face that you're sitting in front of. And all you see is that this head that you're staring at is almost to that of, it's definitely demonic in the way it's built, but it seems to be pulled into almost a canine structure with these large, almost draconic horns coming down and around its neck, with spines coming up out of the top of its head that are folded backwards into its body. And it just seems to be staring you down as you hear a deep growl exit from its mouth. And you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
I will bellow out, "We've got company," and swing my mace in an uppercut.
Alright. Roll the hit.
Uh, 17 plus 1 for the brings 18 plus, not my spells, that's not the right thing. Plus 24 to hit.
So you swing your mace as you go to be the one that chooses to hit first. And you hit it. Whatever you hit, you definitely hit it. And as you land your impact into him, feeling like you do some significant damage, you caught both of yourselves by surprise. As the hit lands, all of a sudden the room becomes covered in darkness. Almost instantaneously, it's this wave of darkness comes over you and fills the room you're in and seeps out into the connecting suite that connects all the rooms together. As Mandy, you see this darkness, this almost deep fog, push itself out of the room, seeping into the main room, as Nosh, Rage, and Finrod... No, Finrod, you're out of here. So Nosh and Rage wake up, as well as the merchant and the other two guides wake up to the chaos of the hit landing, a guttural roar, and then the darkness puffing out. Your sight's completely blocked, Coverall, as you hear claws dig into the ground and then a crash of glass as something jumps out through the window. Finrod and Tovar, you guys hear Coverall from across the street. You hear, "We got company," and then a guttural roar, and then the crashing of glass as you see a shape jump out of the side of the building and take off into the night.
What the fuck was that?
I wonder if that's what dealt this damage right here. And that must be our beast. That's hunting the merchant.
The darkness stays in the room for a minute, and then after about 30 seconds or so, as you are trying to find your way through the darkness, it seems to dissipate and evaporate through the window, seeming to follow the monster. Go ahead, Finrod.
And we kind of saw it, or no?
You saw a shape. It was very fast. So you saw a shape of it as it jumped out of the side of the building through one of the windows and then disappeared.
Did I see it better?
Did I see it better?
Oh no, I'm
He
asking
says with
because
his
I
eyes
have
I
better.
know. It was just it was the way you asked it, Salty, kind of caught me off guard. Like, did I see it better?
Yeah.
It's like technically yes, but like also, I mean, you could definitely tell because you're looking through True Sight and that you were within range of it to use it. Is that you could definitely tell it was a demon, but past that, all you saw was its shape, and then it just piff.
Out of curiosity, like, I granted this is kind of out of character because of I didn't see like the black stuff that he saw, like kind of the fog or whatever you were talking about. Did he see the same thing when that jumped out?
I mean, you saw like the almost a black smokish fog follow it when it jumped out of the window, but you didn't see really anything afterwards after the shape disappeared. Tovar saw more of the essence of demonic origin from it, basically very much the same shadows he's seen with the True Sight before, and that's kind of what he saw. And then as you guys look further, or after it's disappeared, you can see that there's this black fog basically seeping out of the window and then evaporating into the air once it leaves the building.
And then I'll ask Tovar. So did that kind of seem like what you saw around here when you used your your ring?
Yes. It was fucking crazy though. It was a lot more intense.
Oh boy. Nothing's pretty fast, so it's gonna be a hard time catching it.
I don't know. Maybe I could throw Nosh to catch up with it.
Fastball
Little
special.
But don't tell the elf.
They're with the elf, so you shush. You can't hear them.
So you two, after seeing this, start heading back into the tavern with a quickness, as you're afraid of the worst. Coverall, as the darkness kind of starts to seep away from you, you feel the need to cough, as it feels like there's just smoke, but it doesn't feel like smoke. But it's you can't see your hand in front of your face.
Shit. I'm fucking blind.
And after a few seconds, it starts to dissipate, and you start to see light enter through the window for a moment.
Oh wait, false alarm.
Would you like me to flame blade? Let's see if you can see something with a fire. Well, I have a spell called Flame Blade. Do you want me to use it so that you can see in the dark?
Wait. It's kind of dissipated now. Well, thank you.
Huh?
I mean,
So, what
Mandy,
was
you
that?
would have noticed by looking at what came out of that room is that it wouldn't have been a darkness that could be dissipated by light easily. That it was almost as if it was magical darkness, where it snuffed out all the lights that were inside of it.
Well, what do we want to do, Corporal?
Hello? Well, we'll make sure the merchant is okay quickly, and then, well, see about trying to find the damn thing.
Sounds like a plan.
So you two, walking past Nosh and Rage as they came out of the room due to the commotion, swords drawn. You go and check on the merchant as you hear heavy, quick footsteps of Tovar and Finrod coming up to the suite, and see you guys going to check on the merchant. As you go to open his door, you see that the doorknob has none of the markings that the other door had. And that when you open it, you see that the merchant and his guides are sitting in the corner of their room, panicking, as they realized what it was, and that they were just trying to hide to their best intent, whether underneath cots or blankets, or trying to make themselves look like part of the room. And as one of them sticks their head up, goes, Is it gone?"
For now.
Gone for now. Coverall, you got this? I want to go back and inspect the things.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Berg.
I want to investigate the markings, but I also want to see if I can use Arcana to kind of figure anything out on them.
Sure. So roll investigate.
Thank you, Warhouse. for
Investigation?
that.
Wow, that was a 5.
Actually,
Fuck my life.
You can tell that they're marks from claws, and that's about it.
the 2.
Fantastic.
Can
got your
I
magic.
give her advantage by letting her know that it looked like a fucking shadow to me?
Yeah, I mean, you
And
can,
to help her out?
yeah, I mean, you can definitely give her a little bit more information. She can roll it again.
Yeah, I want to do that.
All right.
I mean, Cactus, if you want to come to Arizona, you're more than welcome to do more than just my life.
Don't make me bonk you.
Jesus.
Roll your investigation.
Well, that's a 19.
Yay!
So, much like before, you realize that it is claw marks, and that it seemed to basically try to pick the lock open, which it did, and then open the door. And as you walk into the room, you can kind of start to look through, turning on the lights and using
Thank you, Bird.
what lanterns you have in the room. Basically looking for any kind of other markings. You can see that on the ground where it ran away from Coverall is that it left claw marks in the wood, as well as it seemed to have been perching itself along the wall, leaving marks where its claws had dug in to basically keep it standing. And other than that, you see nothing else, but you do see that there is a radius around it, essentially, of where it did stand when Coverall hit it, that caused a large, almost, you could think of it as a scorch mark, but there's no heat to it, but it seems to be the epicenter of where the magical darkness erupted from this creature and blocked out Coverall's vision after he tried to strike it. But other than that, you don't find anything of major ordinance. There's no blood, no feathers, no hair, just claw marks in that weird ring of smush, smooch, if you will.
Can I do an Arcana on it as well?
Sure.
I want to give her
15.
words of morally supporting.
Moral supporting. So
Yeah.
with the 15 in Tovar's moral support,
Also, Tovar, hydrate.
you're able
So saith the bird.
Hydrate.
you're able to discern that this is definitely abyssal magic.
With mead?
Sure.
Mead.
But you can
That
can
was
tell.
the saddest question I've ever seen or heard.
Oh,
Me?
Sick, god damn it.
But yeah, so you can tell that this is abyssal magic. That whatever you're dealing with is definitely infernal or abyssal in origin.
What the fuck did he say for me to hydrate?
in my chat.
Since your chat's not up, he probably just said it through someone else.
Ah, you bitch.
Yeah, so you tell that the magic is abyssal in origin.
You needed that drink to take over.
Interesting.
Drive away.
Interesting.
I honestly think the mead might have made it worse.
There's always water.
There is always H2O somewhere.
Weird. Drink water?
I drink
You
water.
think a brat knows how to drink water?
I hope
God
so.
damn it, I swear to fucking God. I'm dealing with you, KK,
What?
and Sarah. All
What?
fucking saying that shit.
You wanna fucking go, bitch? Let's go.
I will fucking drop you.
I like to see that.
I already did it in the beginning of the session multiple times. I'll do it IRL as well. Don't
I
try
missed
me.
it.
We'll just put you in that jump harness you got yourself stuck in on that forklift.
I didn't get stuck. I made myself a chair.
It looked like someone put you in a jump harness and forgot about you.
I mean,
No, it's a cherry
I-
picker.
yeah.
I know what it is. It's more of what it looked like from
No,
Travis's
I know.
perspective.
I'm just explaining everybody else. Like it's a fucking scissor lift basically, and it fucking goes up, and they make us wear these harnesses. So me and Travis were being fucking stupid. And we were pushing a goddamn dust mop through the warehouse to fucking sweep it up faster.
Geniuses
I
at
got-
work.
I got tired of fucking standing. So I wrapped it around the fucking roof and fucking made a makeshift chair out of the fucking harness.
I mean, there you go. Like I said,
Salty.
geniuses at work. Magical.
Salty, do me a favor.
What?
Say I'm Batman.
Fuck yourself.
Close enough.
Very good.
So, you determine that it is abyssal magic at work, and that whatever is hunting this merchant is not of this world. And that can be confirmed by what Coverall's seen as he was face to face with this thing before he hit it with his home defense mace.
There's definitely very fucking talkative.
But as you all come down off your alerted states, checking everything, making sure that windows and doors are locked and that everything is accounted for, Finrod and Tovar would finish up their watch by simply staying in the central room of the suite, making sure that if anything else did make its way in, that they would be the first to notice. The rest of you sleep, and then when it is their time to swap out for the next watch, as they go and grab the next person, you continue. For the rest of the night, there are no more interruptions. When morning comes, the merchant and his guides, his assistants, still shaken, wish to continue proceeding forward, knowing that without you there, it probably would have ended worse than what could have occurred.
Okay. Well, how you doing, guys?
Whoa, we found a dead body.
Yep, just before the stuff broke on out
Yeah,
inside.
before we heard fucking Coverall fucking, what the fuck?
So you
I
all,
was sleeping.
yeah, you were sleeping.
Too much
You're-
Brie.
sleeping for a. Oh God,
Oh, that-
no,
that-
no, no! I did not see that, so no.
That brie was so good.
Where's the brie going? That's about as much as you'll fucking get from me.
So with
Oh, good man.
the morning here, you all gather yourselves and gather
I'm
your
Tovar.
fortitude. I'm Tovar. Ah. And you guys continue traveling to the next small town. Once again, find yourself at essentially an inn or a tavern, however you wish to see it as, where you stop for the night. Thankfully, through this night, nothing seems to occur of it. It all seems to be relatively unimpeding as you take the same watch shifts again, now more wary of the sounds outside, and that you've taken the idea of that as long as it doesn't physically come at you, then it is something that you won't deal with outright unless it is a direct threat. So, though you hear voices and temptations, you push them away into your mind and continue doing your due diligence to make sure the merchant makes it to Golden Fields. After another long 8 hours of watch and security, the sun rises once again as you find yourselves back on the road, making the final leg to Golden Fields. As you approach Golden Fields, you see that it is a massive farming infrastructure city. It has plenty of houses, plenty of large fields filled with multiple different crops, a majority of it being wheat, hence the term that it has been given as a town. You see that the population is large, but nothing extreme density due to the farming nature of... Damn it, Jenna. Of
There's
the world
already
around you.
2 on back burner.
Now there's 3
God
on back
damn
burner.
it.
Oh, great. I gotta figure out 3 good ones. Oh. Well, that's a thing. So, you guys make it to Golden Fields. And you see in the distance, as you guys approach it, that you start to see what was the other objective you came to find, the gnomish invention that had been talked about in the bounty. This fabled albatross that had been created out of Golden Fields. It is a massive airship that seems to hover ever so slightly above Golden Fields. A large group of gnomes seem to be manning the ballards on it, as well as around the grounds where it has been constructed and then lifted off. And as you approach closer, getting close to the boundaries of the city itself, you see that the size of it continues to grow as the number of gnomes and other people that are working on this project also seem to grow in size as you watch them pop out from beneath the horizon as you cross ever closer, their heads popping up and down behind the crops that are being grown, the crops that are now being pushed by the currents from the engines of the airship of the Albatross. And so you finally arrive, and you step out of the vehicle, the carriage, if you will, finding yourself within the boundaries of Golden Fields, the Albatross being your next objective, the merchant, making it in a singular piece. But one thing that remains unquestioned is that as you got there, there was no panic, there was no fear, there was no chaos. As from what the merchant had told you, is that the monster had been attacking Golden Fields and now seems to not have left a mark, or one that you can see. As he parks his carriage near the entrance to what looks to be a shop and steps out, he waves you all down. You all step out of the carriage, one at a time, Nosh being last. As Nosh steps out of the carriage, his foot hitting the ground, you hear in all of your heads, almost emanating from him, is just the sound of Uwu exiting across the lands, almost echoing with every footstep.
Wait, so he said ooh?
No, it's every
No.
time his
His
feet hit
feet.
the ground, that soundbite plays, essentially.
What the fuck?
Mosh, what did you do?
So, with that soundbite playing as you walk towards the shop, the sound being heard by all of you except Nosh, who doesn't understand why the sound is confusing and weird to the rest of you, and what is actually happening. As the more you bring it to his attention, the more he seems to just step faster, as the sounds continue to overlap into almost a blast beat of uwus hitting you very quickly.
I'm not gonna continue saying that. Out of breath.
He at one point pulls out his bagpipes and starts making a beat of it. It is a terrifying sight to behold, where people actually come up and
Yes,
give you
Tovar.
money to stop doing it.
Tovar,
yes,
No,
I
we're
need
making
you to
money.
knock him out again.
We're making money.
hands down.
We're getting
Since
money
Mandy
right now.
wants me to do it, it's with advantage.
I'm gonna try to like, you know. block
Nosh
it and just
Nosh
keep going.
continues.
25.
Sidestep it.
So I will say you go up near him as you guys are hearing the sounds of the uwus and the bagpipes all playing, as Nosh himself cannot hear the soundbite, but he knows that it's happening. And so Nosh, seeing you walk towards him, knows only one conclusion will end of it, and so he begins to run
I've been playing bagpipes.
I don't know, I have
while
a
playing the
25.
bagpipes. I am aware of what you rolled, but Nosh, knowing the conclusion of what's going on, runs away. And so now, as he's running through the town, you're hearing this soundbite playing very rapidly, followed by bagpipe noises, as you see an angry Tovar running behind him. And so the sounds of the oohs die off in the distance as you finally hear almost the sound of a gong being hit as the bells of the town ring to the top of the hour. And you see Tovar dragging back a unconscious Nosh that wakes up as soon as he gets there. And as Nosh stands back on his feet, the uwus stop.
No.
The soundbite no longer playing as he steps lively on his feet, as much to his heart's content.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of it. I didn't hear any of the soundbite.
You didn't hear any of it. You thought it was hilarious, regardless.
Knock my ass out.
And I got 2 more curses to think up. I have one idea for him, and it's going to be very funny if I get the chance to trigger it. So, you guys find yourselves in Golden Fields. The merchant has unloaded his goods into his shop. The albatross sits over your head, waving the crops around it with its engines, pushing the air down around it. Buy some more pities. Don't you do it. Let me get through the tour on the back burner, Jenna. Please. I need to come up with these. Ah,
Oh God,
Shiza.
bird.
The antagonizing.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
because now she's gonna do it.
Curse this fucking bird to fucking sleep for the entire rest of the session.
Becomes a narcoleptic.
Just
Yeah.
falls asleep at random times.
He's just fucking walking down, playing his bike pipes, and then just
Oh, so I
falls
just
asleep. And you just hear. He just
Oh,
face
God.
plants onto his bagpipes.
Jenna's bringing out the bride and she's gonna do it anyways. Alright, I'll just have to start. I'm gonna have to find a curse generator to help me with this because I didn't realize this would be such a popular option. I should have
Of
estimated
course
it.
it will. Shit needs to be like 2,000 biddies.
Yeah, it does need to be higher.
Fuck. You got
This is
fucking
getting out of hand.
Phantom doing fucking like 5 of them right at the beginning of the goddamn session.
I just feel like the fucking trade officers from episode 1. There's 2 of them? Oh no.
Jesus fucking
Oh, no.
Christ.
Rage coming up to 750. Okay. Oh. Alright, I gotta start writing this shit
Alright.
down somewhere. Like how many curses are on my back burner.
Thank you, KK, for the
Alright,
shout out.
there's very times.
That's what, back to 3? I don't
Yes.
even know anymore.
3. I'm gonna have to raise it, bro. I'll do that after the stream. Alright.
We're at what, 8 fucking fake points, right?
Yeah, it's fate points is 250, 500s are dreads for me, and 750s are curses. Banks down for maintenance. It brat for you. Oh no. So, I'll have to fix the price of this. You guys are coming in and just making everything ridiculous. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But any hoozle, you guys basically find this and you see no evidence of fear or panic crossing through the people here that should be worried about Monica, the monster that the merchant told you about and the one that you saw. So in that instance, you essentially are waiting. You meet with the merchant, and he tells you that you did a service to get him to Golden Fields. And that to fight off the monster and keep him safe was another thing entirely. And so he looks to what to give you, essentially, of what to pay you back for doing things and for essentially helping him, basically a reward for what you've done. And as you're speaking with him, you hear screams start to echo through the town. It's past noon, it's 12:30, 1 o'clock, and it's one of those things of where I'm hearing myself through Mandy. This is throwing me off my rhythm. It's so it shouldn't be coming after you, and you haven't heard of any other creatures or monsters following you here or being an issue in Golden Fields. And as you all exit the merchant shop to see what's going on, leaving the merchant to kind of look through his own goods, you see that through the crowds of people that are running past you, you see that same wave of darkness start to come towards you, surrounding you and the shop itself. And what seems to become of it is that you find yourself facing this creature once again. The merchant running out into the street as he sees the darkness begin to swallow around the shop, leaving an empty space in the middle of the street, all of you surrounded by this opaque wall that you can't see through. A dome starting to form over the group you're sitting in. Even The engines and the winds of the Albatross seem to not be able to push the darkness away. And you find yourself facing down the monster. It stands in front of you, easily 7, if not more, feet tall. Wings folded down its back. Large swords being held in its clawed hands. Its body almost looking like a cross between something of draconic bloodline and canine bloodline. Something demonic. It tries to speak to you, and it only comes out in words that hurt the ears and bring no communication forward. So it simply growls, holding its blades tightly, pointing towards the merchant that has now entered into the street. You can see now that its body has gray stripes around it. Whether painted or otherwise is unknown and uncertain, and a fact that does not matter to you at this point. It is threatening the person you promised to protect, and the monster in front of you promised to kill. As it growls and you hear the clicks through its language, you see 2 more shapes exit through the darkness, stepping through the fog and into the open clearing in front of you. And you see that there are 3 of them. The merchant at this point panics, trying to run back into his shop, but can't seem to find the door. The darkness now closing you all off from the world outside. The swirling magics encapsulating you in this fight and into this situation you find yourself in. The other 2 demons draw their blades and stare you down, the clicking and growls echoing the first, these seeming to be slightly smaller than the original. You stand in front of them ready to fight, ready to take down these beasts before they can either kill the merchant or cause a problem for others around you. And as you draw your weapons and charge into combat, your war cries echoing out to a world that cannot hear or see what is happening. You feel the darkness begin to choke in. And that's where the session will end.
Knew it.
Oh, brother.
Oh, big
Join
brother.
the cord, huh?
Probably because fucking there were so many damn curses, we couldn't fucking get past the tip story.
So we're gonna do a little wrap up real quick now that we've gotten everything there. We're basically going to end with you guys facing off against 3 of these monsters, where we will step back into it next Saturday and kind of go through it there. A few things that are housekeeping ways. That I'm going to do through it is I'm going to set up some more stuff for you guys to kind of play with on the point redeems and whatnot. There's a few things I'll try to put in. I'm going to be fixing some of the I guess the pricing of doing the curses and the dreads and whatnot, as I would rather you guys throw your bits, if you want to donate to them, into the dice rolls instead of the curses, because the curses put a lot of pressure on me to make sure that the roleplay flows, but it's also fun. So the big issue here is that if you guys put a lot of curses on, it's a lot of work to make sure that the game doesn't slow down and that we continue pushing through. There's sometimes where I can mix it in, like in the beginning with Salty and the decapitated dragonborn devil on his shoulder, which that was able to be worked into the roleplay beautifully by how I pace it and then how Salty kind of ran with it. So it's, and then you guys putting in meshes was also really great. But on the whole, if you guys want to put curses in, if you guys join the Discord, which if you do ! Discord, you'll get the invite for it. I can make a section in there for you guys to put curse ideas into. I can put up the tables that I have for curses and my ideas I have in there, um, and we can kind of go from there. Uh, and we'll kind of work off that. I'm probably gonna raise the price of the curses a lot, just because the fact that I want everyone to go through the story. I want everyone to have fun with it, and it's really hard to have fun with it when there's just a lot going on for like me and the players and everything else going through it. Um, Past that, other housekeeping stuff is that my Sunday game, the Beyond the Brink campaign, the finale for it is going to be July 30th. I unfortunately have 2 players that will be leaving the game. And so we're going to be putting that campaign to bed. We'll be doing a big finale for it. And then I'll be trying to open a new one on Fridays at 9, which that's still tentative with some of the details I'm trying to push through, but that's basically where we're going to be putting it. Just to make my schedule easier on Sundays, as well as give you guys more openings for other people to kind of cross platform, or people who are in the Discord who haven't played before and want to do it. We can do that too. Past that, we're going to do a little bit of after action. So let's talk about favorite moments and funny things that happened, things that you'd like to see more of, things you may like to see less of, etc. So we'll start with Finrod.
Why? Why is
What
Cactus
is it?
yelling at me?
Because that's just Cactus. He does that.
I was happy we got Eris out of jail with actually out having to cause a conflict. I was a little shocked that you just, well, the sheriff was kind of so willing to just be like, yep, nope, take her off my hands.
Hey. I felt I had a very reasonable
No, you
reaction.
did. I thought there was just gonna be more blowback from him than that, to be honest. But that was just my opinion.
It was.
You did a good job at just selling the right stuff, Mandy.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it came down to, is that Mandy knew how to sell the point, and because she sold the point, I was like, he would agree because he doesn't like having her here. He doesn't like having to deal with her. He confuses her and brings emotions he doesn't like to keep to the surface. He likes to bury them down, so he'll die of heart failure at 40 years old. So the faster she can get out of his jailhouse, the better.
And that bracelet that we got sent was really cool. That was a nice little bonus for us to get around a little bit quicker and get back to our keep.
Yeah, so you guys can. I wanted to do it so you guys get a little bit more of like a hub to work on. Since you guys are putting money into the keep from your contracts and everything, I was like, this would probably be a better way for you to actually utilize the services that would be there.
Well, that was nice of you.
I'm intrigued for this fight too.
Oh yes.
Besides that, that's about it for tonight. Because if I forgot to, while we were in the carriage, to try and attune to the gauntlets again.
Oh no.
Oh no. Them gauntlets. Them gauntlets are gonna be the bane of your existence. You'll get it eventually.
Yes.
I can feel it. I can feel it in my soul, my dice soul. It's full of math.
One of
rocks.
these days.
One of these days.
But that's it
Overall,
for me.
what you got?
I mean, I also really thought the portal bracelet was cool. I'm glad that it worked out. We didn't have to do it this way, but I did think the idea of using the, I mean, if she agreed to, do so, using the gate bracelet to like discreetly have her escape after we walk out would have been pretty cool, but we didn't need to do that anyway, so
I mean, it was a good idea.
No, it was a really good idea.
but yeah, aside from that, it was just the succubus trying his best to be professional while all that bullshit was going on at the beginning. I thought it was pretty good.
You see, he's just like, no, I
I
don't.
just wanted to peck his eyes out.
What's so wrong about that?
He deserved it. He was being mean to me.
Yes, being mean by giving you a fucking compliment.
You know
But
that's
the
Mandy's
Boogle Queen,
trigger.
the Boogle Tween. How do you expect them to not be like, oh, that's so cute?
I love how you went Russian on there. You went from Scottish to Russian. That was a really good transition.
I don't know.
I don't know how I did it, but I got here and then here we are. I'm in the hoy.
Yeah.
Alright, Mandy, what you got? What did you like? What you didn't like? What do you want more of? What do you want less of?
You know, I just had it in my brain, and now I've completely forgot it because apparently that's how my brain wants to work today. Um. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Don't know where it went.
Alright, if it comes back to you, let me know.
I'm so sorry.
You're okay. Nosh, you get nothing. No, Nosh, what... From
Yeah,
what
Nosh.
you were here for,
He's like, oh, I woke up and
My
fucking.
favorite part was sleep.
there you go. I love it. That's a good
Yeah.
answer.
So
10 out of 10.
I think honestly, my favorite part is more of like just everything we do in general, because it kind of helps me get ideas of the campaign that I want to start. Because I don't know if I've been keeping you like in the loop, but I've been wanting to start my own campaign eventually. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work towards it.
Good.
Which
Wonderful.
would be the whole boot camp thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of. I've been reading literally until like 2, 3 a.m. over like all my books and kind of like building it. Some crazy.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. Very good. But yeah, that's all I have.
Alright.
By the way,
What up?
I think my favorite part was just accepting that the demon was Tovar. And just like, yep, I'm just gonna go back to bed now. We're good.
I was
Well, that
warning
sounded
you.
like Etheria's ass to me. I'm all good. I'm all good.
Exactly.
It was one of the things that like I wanted Coverall to get like a higher result, so then you two would be like, I don't think it's him. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's him.
Like, no, I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure it's him. I'm going to bed. I don't know about you. I'm going to bed.
That sounds like a big doofus. Yep, I'm going back to bed.
I'm-
Night.
I'm not dealing with it. I'm going to sleep.
Wow, Jenna.
I was like, he can't. There's physically no fucking way that he's gonna do it. Just like I rolled that 20. Son of a bitch. All right. All right. Mr. Salty, Mr. Tovar.
So one of the things that I like that has happened multiple times in the session is when we take a vote as a party and then we fucking go off a majority rule. I feel that ends up working really well. The curses have been funny, but I feel like they need to be kind of maybe like yeah, one per fucking session or something like that. But like one of my favorite things that will be on every session is just the freedom that we get on the sessions. So like, if Nosh starts doing something stupid, I just punk him on the head.
Just
You
bonk
know,
him on the head.
Yeah, he starts running and fucking ooh, starts fucking going through the town. Then like I fucking drag him back because he got knocked down. Like, the creativity that you bring to the fucking sessions are always gonna be like top tier for me. Like, I fucking love it.
I just got an idea.
But yeah, but that's kind of what I'm aiming for, is to give you guys a lot of freedom. That's why I made a bunch of these side quests and put them on the map for you guys to basically look at and be like, all right, what do we
Yeah.
want to do? Do we want to go do something weird and fun? Because depending on the quest you go on, it can be either something as simple as, like with the escort quest you're currently doing, it could have been something simple as the guy was crazy and didn't know it, or it could be, oh, I'm being chased by an actual goddamn demon. So that's a thing. You know, or it could be something like with the Hunters and the Deathlands quest, where, uh, yeah, Nosh, you actually missed the introduction to your backstory quest that's on the map right now.
Yeah, nerd.
Nerd.
Yeah, very.
But like those giving you guys options to go into different regions that aren't on the map, and you get to basically go and take a look at what's going on with them. And then depending on the mission you go into, the side quests, they can be completely different, not attitudes, but like atmospheres. Like they can turn into terror or horror, or they can be spoopy, not spoopy, whatever. So it's like it's a very good way of doing it, and I'm glad everyone's been enjoying it. This one was definitely, I think I'm going to limit the curses. I think I will make sure I have them listed and basically have them set up on the back end so I know when to bring them in so we can keep the flow going. But this is all kind of a learning experience as I'm doing this now with an audience, not just you guys. So finding that good medium is going to take a bit of tweaking, but that's why I ask you guys questions and whatnot. So. Yeah, but other than that, I'm glad you all enjoyed yourselves. I'm glad we all had a fun time. I'm hoping to do more of it next week and try to push forward more with the story, have you guys do some more stuff. Maybe do some like stereotypical side quests, go slay a dragon or something, you know. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun times. And then Nosh, for you, for your introduction to that backstory quest, basically the party was told there are hunters in McCrag, from a mercenary band that are asking for a certain individual, but they're not willing to give up the information of who they're actually looking for. So that was the big vague thing on that end.
Obviously looking for me.
Obviously, if you were here, you could say so, but you weren't, so it's vague.
Oh.
Uh,
You know, somebody had to sleep the entire fucking carriage ride.
My bed was at a Gussie family 5 hours away.
You're good, man. That's why I put it on the map so it's there. But yeah, with that, I got nothing else, so we're going to dump out of here. We're gonna go jump on some fools. Actually, gonna go raid out to a good friend of mine who is doing the over of watch.
The watch makes it over.
The watch that is over.
I'm
The under
sending. Jesus Christ! Hello, Karma. Hi. How you doing? Thanks for the dicks in the ear. Love it. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 would eat your dick again.
And now I'm sending you all to Travis.
All right. So, thank you all for being here.
Yeah, Travis is on.
I will be back tomorrow for. I hate you, Sam. We'll be here tomorrow for Beyond the Brink, and then next Saturday we'll have another episode of the Siege of Etheria, and we'll kind of go from there. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.